The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Let's go!
this show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Hello and welcome. Feel Good Friday, September 20th, the Pat McAfee Show. I am AJ Hawk, sitting in for Pat. He's going to join us from Norman, Oklahoma here. Football! There it is, a slight delay. What's up, Pat? Norman, Oklahoma. As everybody can see, game day will be down there. Tennessee taking on Oklahoma. Last night, Pat, we know the Jets get a huge, huge victory over the New England Patriots. There might be a plane flying around over the stadium down there. How you doing, Pat? What's the weather like today? You all right?
It's not too shabby. We are under the concourse bricks, and big shout out to everybody, a part of the crew that makes this happen every single week. It is a perfectly weathered day in Oklahoma. I was expecting 100, at least 99 degrees. There's a little bit of overcast. There's a little bit of shade currently, but this weekend in this town, it is about to be historic. Obviously, Venables in Oklahoma, seemingly all the way back. Their fan base, their students are ready for it, and this stadium sits literally directly in the middle of campus. So pulled in here today, walked to class with like 100 different people. Literally today. I've done it in this thing. Our production meeting was in the library. Third time in one in general. Felt like a pretty historic day for me. Oklahoma's been awesome. And last night's game, AJ, let's dive right into it.
Yes.
A host of a program that has been going on every single Tuesday during the football seasons for the last, 5 years? I forget however many years it is, whatever the case. 4 years. 5?
One of the two. I think 5.
5 years is all the way back. Hey, we go back to COVID time. And during the COVID time, there was a lot of things that were taking place in our country, and obviously we must remember that so that it never happens in the future because, boy, we need to make sure we keep people protected so we can live and thrive like Aaron Rodgers did last night. Now, during COVID, he was a man on a mission. You know, they drafted Jordan Love to replace him. He says it wasn't just that. There was a lot of things that went into it. He went back-to-back MVP. Now he's a 4-time NFL MVP. What followed after that was a time in some darkness, some ayahuasca retreats, a turning of a page for one historic program in the Green Bay Packers, and then dawning of a new day for the New York Jets. In between there was a lot of football not being played because of an Achilles injury, and he went to the Achilles factory and certainly was going to be back early last season, earlier than any Achilles person had ever returned, but they weren't in the playoff contention or conversation. Then the first couple weeks this season, we saw the ball spin a little bit, saw him get sacked, we saw him kind of play a little bit of football, but it wasn't Aaron Rodgers football. Last night, this man played Aaron Rodgers MVP football again. And for the sake of the entire NFL quarterback class, and I know that Patrick Mahomes is always going to be great, and there's others that are having phenomenal starts. Derek Carr, Kyler Murray's doing his thing down there for the Arizona Cardinals, but this season has been dominated by poor quarterback play and poor offensive football play. And Aaron Rodgers last night absolutely cooked. And it started very early. It felt like he was feeling something a little bit early. He was scrambling like a jungle cat. He was throwing footballs like they were darts. And he's got the entire Jets fan base now having Lombardi dreams. Michael Cole texted me after that game for a couple hours, because obviously he was on the Cole train. He was boozing pretty heavily. They got a show in Sacramento tonight, so he's on the West Coast time. So he said, I woke up this morning to 15 messages from Michael Cole. 15 of them saying, I'm so happy. Oh, my God. Life is so much better now. Garrett Wilson, they're supposed to knock him out of the game. He's catching phenomenal touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, at the age of 40, is extending plays, throwing the ball back across his body to a tight end who might be a guy. We have no idea in this Conklin fella. And then if you think about the Braylon Allen, Breece Hall combo in the backfield, and Allen Lazard able to continue to do what he does, he kind of has the Devontae Adams, I'm going to look at you, and you're going to do something different feel with Lazard. And then Mike Williams gets into the – it's like – Jets fans are pumped, and I think Aaron Rodgers is as well. If you listen to any of those post-game interviews, AJ.
Yeah, do you hear him? He talked. I think this was the first time he felt kind of like himself. He felt like this is what I do, and I think watching it, you could tell that too. Early on, he just seemed to kind of be in rhythm. The ball comes out of his hands so clean, and that I was encouraged to see him move around. He's scrambled around. This is the most that he has kind of moved around since that Achilles tear. So that was what I think, at least if you're a Jets fan, if you're an Aaron fan, that's what you like to see the most.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't hear a word you just said, to be honest. I was having a conversation with Zito, but yeah, what you were.
Aaron was moving, is what I'm saying. Yeah, Aaron was moving around, using his legs.
Yeah,
his Achilles, I feel like it looks as if he has 100% confidence in that Achilles.
He got tackled from behind out of bounds, and he didn't care at all. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, he actually dapped up Keon White and was pulling Lazard back. I think Lazard went to go fight him, and he was like, yo, all good, all good. He's almost like, I needed that. You know, these are things that I think he's needed. And then him getting an edge, getting a first down, sliding to, and then that place going crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine the feeling. And then I thought about this as he was jogging out. No American flag.
Yep.
No.
He says he's a little stitious. Not superstitious, he's a little stitious, which obviously Aaron Rodgers back at press conferences is back as well. But when he was jogging out here, he has told us on multiple occasions that there's nothing like jogging out of that tunnel whenever your name gets introduced. He said it just gives you an added boost and like he actually feels like this moment helps him play football. I couldn't even imagine what it felt like after what last year was, all the hype, all the knocks now, he's too old, and then his ass comes trotting out onto that field in the same exact manner he did on September 11th a year ago, and it's like, that had to feel good. Last night had to feel very, very good for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm happy for him. And now on the flip side, AJ, hey, comment. We saw Drake May. That's good. We got to see Drake May play.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and it was nice because, you know, you could see he's a big son of a bitch. Tough as nails. Yeah. I mean, he got his ass deleted almost on his third play of the game. First one, almost a pick. A great start. You know, all the greats always throw interceptions right off the bat like Peyton Manning. But, I mean, this hit right here, very worrisome. Got absolutely planted into the ground, but he popped right back up, basically said, like, oh, that's how an NFL hit feels like. And then he bounced right back through a couple strikes. I think he was 4 for 8. I mean, perfectly executed screen. The guy just can't miss the short ones, which he doesn't. And he threw a couple darts as well. But no,
first down.
Boom. How about that? How about that first down? See you later. Move the sticks, brother. I mean, look, overall, it was terrible. But
should they play him, Con?
No, absolutely
you think they should
not.
put Drake? Why?
No.
Just because you don't think they can protect him?
Absolutely can't do that whatsoever. I think the biggest thing that the New England Patriots need to do, and I mean this very sincerely, they need to get a suitcase full of $10 to $20 million.
Okay.
And they need to go to Dante Scarnecchia's front door, who is the former offensive line coach, for the people that don't know, during the entire Patriots dynasty, one of the best assistant coaches in the history of the NFL when it comes to offensive line. They need to go to him and say, look, Dante, if you don't come back here, there's a chance that this New England Patriots offensive line gets 4 to 5 quarterbacks killed this season, because already on...
They've been riddled by injury as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Already on the backup left tackle and left guard going into this game. By the time the game was over, they were on their 3rd string or 4th string left guard. Our backup right guard, who was in the game, he got hurt during it. And then, obviously, injuries are going to happen. That's part of the league. Yeah. Hawker, you know that better than anyone.
Sure,
even though
I guess so.
If you never really didn't play because of injuries. But stuff happens, and Keon White got banged up. Jabril Peppers got banged up. I mean, overall, the feeling after, laying my head on the pillow was like, okay, so maybe the Bengals win, and thinking that we got a shot at the Super Bowl isn't exactly
just from one game. You learned that? They get Jets got 7 sacks defensively. Credit to the Jets defense too, giving up 3 points and getting so much pressure, and they brought pressure. Like Jeff Ulbrich, the D coordinator for the Jets, I think he's like, hey, if this is working early, why would we ever stop bringing extra guys?
Yeah, they played unbelievable. I mean, there's a tweet sent in. I don't know if we have it, but they're the first team in the Super Bowl era to have 400 yards, over 40 minutes of time possession, 7 sacks, no turnovers. Like, they did genuinely play a perfect game. And just watching, there it is, no touchdowns allowed as well. They did genuinely play a perfect game. Now, when you're, the strategy on play actions isn't to block anybody. It is pretty easy not to allow any touchdowns, and it felt like that's what the Patriots were doing. I mean, right off the bat, they ran a play action, and Jacoby Brissett almost got his head taken off. But, I mean, look, that's going to happen at times. But looking at it from, a zoomed-out perspective, because that's what we need to do here.
Hold on. It sounds like you're about to say, like, it's not as bad as I thought? Or are you saying I need to tamper down my expectations?
No, definitely tamper down the expectations. I mean,
from week to week, though, you can't get on that roller coaster. You can't say, hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Hey, we suck. We're never going to be good again.
As a fan, you can.
You certainly can.
That's typically what Mondays are all about.
Not as a player.
If you're a true fan, if you're a true irrational fan, I guess you do ride that roller coaster.
You can as a player.
Yeah, well, as a player, of course you can. And, this is almost my overreaction Monday, because even though it is Friday, my team did just play yesterday, so I do have to kind of respond to what we saw, and it wasn't great, and the offensive line is terrible. And we need Dante Scarnecchia, and we also need to never put Drake May back in the football game, because if he goes in there, there's a chance he gets killed.
Well, and that's what, I understand not wanting to put May in because of how bad the line is, but if they don't address it, I don't care how tough Jacoby Brissett is. If you're getting sacked 7 times a game and getting hit 15 to 20 times a game, he is going to get injured, and they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to play Drake May.
No question. Pat, I think Pat's with us. They had to reboot some Zoom or situation. What do you think about that Jets defense getting seven sacks on the night, only giving up 3 points?
Yeah, I think obviously they came out, with Mosley not playing too. I think that was a big surprise for a lot of us whenever we learned that he was going to be inactive. I think that took us by surprise because everybody on the set yesterday was basically assuming that he was going to play if there was any question marks. Instead, they're able to rest him, get him more healthy to come back, and then still able to apply pressure. And now you wonder the Hassan Reddick situation that has taken place over there and has taken place over there. After week 1, there's a thought maybe he has a little bit more leverage because his defense isn't going to be able to. And then after week 2, maybe there's a little bit more. Now here we are week 3, and it's like they play a perfect game against a division opponent. It's like, is the Hassan Reddick need still there? Definitely. But is the leverage and everything after a performance like that from the defense as much as it once was maybe a couple weeks ago? I'm not 100% sure. Because they get him back in the fold and he plays anything like what he has in the past. We have no idea. But if he plays anything like he has in the past, it's like, hold the phone now. Is this Jets defense back to being top 5? Hey, Ty.
Yep.
Ty.
Yeah.
The last time Aaron Rodgers had a top 5 defense, what happened?
I believe they won the Super Bowl.
Okay. Is that what's happening this year? Hey, Connor, I know that you picked the Jets to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
So obviously that was you kind of hedging your bet on if there's a miracle season by the Patriots, you'll ride with the Patriots. But if it's going to be a transition year, and I don't know why people are still being like, is it still Jacoby's job? It's like, I think there was a plan here, right? Wasn't there a whole plan?
Clear plan, and I think we saw the whole entire reason there was a plan last night with the O-line.
Yeah, and also, you guys beat the Cincinnati Bengals early there, so I think everybody in Patriots fans hold the phone, wait a minute, maybe we're not in a transition era. Now, how could you not? I mean, I would certainly get excited as well, but there's been a plan for this entire thing. So the way Mayo is answering those questions Coach Mayo is answering those questions about the quarterback this early, very fascinating, because are they going to sway from the plan before they figure out everything else, to your point, and get Drake May in there? But that's why you bet on the Jets, because you knew the AFC East was probably going to be run by them, and you wanted the AFC East to win a Super Bowl. Is that why you picked the Jets to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, that and just the expectation of who Rodgers has been, especially when people are kind of counting everything up against him. And I'm not sure if you saw this morning, but after last night's comments where he said, we'll assess everything with the quarterback, us and the coaches will get together. He said this morning, hey, Jacoby's our starting quarterback. That's not going to change. We're going with him for this season. So I don't think after last night, maybe the initial reaction was a little bit of a wavering, but this morning it felt much more we are not going away from Jacoby. I just hope he doesn't get. I genuinely hope he still has a spleen by the end of the season, because it's bad right now.
If Jacoby, if Jacoby and the O-line could see the red circles around the players that are blitzing, because the Amazon AI blitz tool was swinging a hot stick.
It was kind of nice.
A hot stick last night. They would have been much better off last night.
Hey, there was a couple where they were wrong early. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Somebody dropped into coverage a couple different times. They had the red circle around them, then a yellow circle around them, and they dropped into coverage instead of went. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, not good start, not good start. Boy, it found its rhythm though. It started,
that's AI. The more it learns, brother.
Connor Stallionsing really quickly. Like, you got me in the first quarter. You're not going to get me here in the third quarter. It was, but it's almost like how Aaron views the game.
Yes.
You know, Chuck talks about this yesterday. He was like, the Patriots' blown coverages that have happened over the past couple of games that maybe haven't been talked about because they haven't been exposed. Like, Aaron's going to find those. Like, Aaron is going to know those. And that's why, and we've talked about this, and I think it's a good time to bring it back up, especially after how last night went. Like, he is trying to figure out everything. He is the janitor in Goodwill Hunting at the chalkboard.
Yep.
And that is why that play clock goes very, 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 very far down every single time. He wants to be able to survey completely. There's 2 timeouts used in the third quarter. You know, because there was a potential delay of game by Robert Saleh last night, and you see Aaron like look over to the sideline like, "Hey, that's on me. All right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out." It's his watching his brain kind of operate is great for us. I mean, it's terrible for defense coordinators and defenses as a whole, especially if they have had a couple blown coverages. He's going to figure it out, but like. Him and Saleh last night. What did he push him for, AJ?
Yeah, what's going on there? Something about going up 2 scores. Or whatever. I know they referenced it. They talked about it in his post game presser. Look at this. Here we go. Dap.
Why'd he
Get out of here?
Come on.
Why'd he side eye?
Yeah, it's the eyes. It's the eyes.
Yeah. What is he trying to? Is he messing with him? I know Aaron said after the game, Saleh's not a big hugger. He usually does the 2. So I think Aaron thought Saleh was going to go pat him on the chest. Aaron's like, no, I'm going to jump out and get ahead of this.
Yeah, but you got to, adapt or die?
That's right.
Okay. And kind of, so when Saleh has a little bit of a moment of emotion there, Aaron, I think you got to meet him halfway with that hug. I think you can ass out hug if you want. You can do whatever type of hug you need to do there. But I think Aaron was caught off guard. And then I think Aaron immediately went to talk shit to Coach Saleh, which is a sign of a good relationship, not a bad one, even though everybody on the internet is saying it's a bad one. But him looking at the coach saying 2-score lead, I think that's the first in a long time. I got a Hembo stat that came over, and it basically said, here we go. The Jets had 6 sacks last night with a 14-plus point lead, 2-score lead. They had 2 such sacks in 51 games across Saleh's first 3 seasons. Jeez. So that was one of the stats that Hembo sent over there. So 2-score lead, the ability for his defense to hunt, also kind of probably something that Saleh talks about a lot, you know? So fascinating times as they're trying to, as Aaron said, rebuild a culture here that's been tortured for years and years. I'm very happy that he has this... you know, we talked about 2020 there for a little bit. Whenever Jordan Love gets drafted, he has the chip. That's a whole new one. Then he gets kicked out of the organization after going in the darkness, seemingly. And kicked out is certainly an interesting thing. They move on. He has to move on to somewhere else. I apologize for wording it that way, Packers fans. I understand this is part of business, and I think Gutekunst made a great decision, okay? At the time, very confused because you guys are, you know, nonetheless, I think it is a good decision. But he feels that in his heart, in his mindset, oh, I'm not good enough to win here in Green Bay anymore. I sat for 3 years here. I became a man here. I did everything. I'm not good enough to win, and this guy is the one that's good enough. Like, that's how elite competitors put it in their head. So he goes to the Jets, and last year we were going to get spite Aaron.
Oh, yep.
Spite Aaron. And we were all very excited. Jets fans were very excited. And then that thing ends so quickly, and then he gets to hear more shit talked about him. Think about that. He gets more shit talked about him, about how he's too old, not going to be able to come back. Oh, what is he going to do? He's going to have dolphins hum over his Achilles, and he's going to heal faster than anybody else. He's 40 years old, and he's going to come back earlier than anybody else. All those things just continue to build up, and it's like, if last night is any indication of anything we know about Aaron Rodgers, it's like Jets fans have a reason to be very, very excited for an offensively inept organization that it has been. Feels like you might have figured out. And that Hackett offense looks a lot different whenever he's running it versus maybe some other people.
Yeah, it does. You mentioned Conklin earlier. Doesn't it feel like he and Conklin are just that relationship is going to continue to grow? Like, in watching Aaron move the safeties and move different players with his eyes and shoulders and then hit Conklin a few times, these things were a thing of beauty here. I mean, yeah, it just feels like one of those games where they come together. Yeah, what did he say?
Herbstreit said 6 different receivers in the first quarter or something like that, or the first
drive. I think it might
have
been the first drive. Like, I think it was 6. Yeah, I think it might have been the first drive or the second drive. But yeah, it was very, very early. Pat, how about
Gibson got the ball there. He's one of the most explosive people like on the field. He's an incredible returner. So if they're going to work some shit in for him as well, with Braylon Allen, who, wow, what a dog. And a tweet just got sent in that Braylon Allen put out before the combine, where he said something along the lines of like, I'm not going to prove how good of a football player I am by running in underwear or something like that about the combine. Nice. So I love this guy.
Yes.
He's 20 years old. Yeah, everyone wanted to see me run in my underwear to decide if I was a good football player. Love this. So I like his mindset. I like that he's the youngest player in football. And I like that him and Breece Hall are a great 1-2 back there. And it's, come on, man. They got everything over there, don't they?
Pat, how about, and you noticed it, and I'm sure not a lot of people did during the game last night when Aaron's scanning the defense and he goes can, and every single person on the offense is on the exact same page.
Yeah, I think this is a good indicator of where everybody is right now. This is obviously first quarter, and this is the thing, like, one person hears it, everybody hears it. Right there, everybody literally goes can. Everybody. Look at the whole team. Every skill position, center, offensive lineman, obviously Aaron, we're all on the same page, and then boom, it becomes a first down run. Like, it's like those little checks right there. No offense to Zach Wilson, okay? No offense to
he's
any
a
other
sweet
quarterback.
boy.
Sweet boy.
He's a sweet boy.
Very
And he's got a
sweet
brother.
boy.
He's got a brother that's playing football, I do believe.
Yeah.
Also a sweet boy.
Sweet boy, good face. Got good.
Go family.
He's got good face. But like the ability, first of all, for Hackett and Aaron, I assume is a big piece of it, to say like, hey, everyone echo the call. Okay, everyone echo the call. That is kind of a conversation that is had in some teams. Like, I don't want to say they're too good for it, but people act like they're too good to do it. So everybody being on the same page, everybody echoing the same call, everybody rowing in the same direction, and then getting the play option that is best for your team to succeed. It's like that's another little thing that's different whenever Aaron's the quarterback of a Hackett offense as opposed to maybe anybody else. And that's not just for the Jets. That's league wide. And this goes back to what Kurt Warner was saying about these quarterbacks developing and learning the defense and learning the protection. It's like checking to a good run as opposed to a bad run is just as important as checking from a run to a pass if the box is loaded. It's like I got real excited about Aaron playing last night and the Jets playing last night, especially with how the league has looked.
Yep.
Like outside the Saints.
It's right? Weird. Yeah, believe me, I don't think you're the only one. There's a ton of Jets fans that feel the same way. But the whole can situation, like coaches will say that like we need visual confirmation on the film. If you're sitting there with the whole defense and you're watching something, and one guy said, "Oh, I didn't get the call. I don't know what's going on." No, like that's why sometimes you'll see dudes like patting the back of their ass cheek or something. They're letting the safety know, "Hey, I got the call," or "This is where our alignment is." Like you need to give visual confirmation so someone can't say, "Oh, I told him the call." I'm like, no, you need to confirm with me that you got this call, and if you do, your hand signals, all that stuff. Yeah, it seems like a little thing, but obviously the little things are a big deal. We know that.
Well, and it means everybody's all in, and the message is getting through, which is a big deal. The message getting through is a big deal. And that's first quarter, and that's right after Moses.
Yeah.
Moses goes over to fight for him. For Breece, I think.
Yeah, it was Breece.
When he got slammed by Tavai, right here. And that was a
so this is obviously cheating. Can't do that.
What are we doing, Tavai?
Can't do that. But then look, first person over there ready to fight before Breece even has a time to do anything. His teammate Moses
John
steps
Simpson.
up for him.
Wait, that was a penalty?
That's on us.
I'm sorry, Simpson, not Moses. That's on me. Mr. Simpson, I do apologize. But Simpson interrupts before Breece can even get into it and says, And then the next play, literally the next play is the cans. It's like, as I'm watching this come together, I'm like, this team is like attention to detail, accountable, seemingly playing for each other. Is this the Jets? Because I heard Aaron is terrible for team chemistry.
Yeah,
that's true.
I heard he's terrible.
Well,
but this feels like a much different Jets than when he's not in the building. Sorry about that, Tom.
What'd you say,
No,
Tom?
I was saying Egypt changed him. He spoke to a couple pharaohs.
King Tut.
And
His tomb
King
really
Tutankhamun
spoke to
himself.
him.
Yes, and curses are words. So that's all that's
Spells, Tony, not words. Okay. But
No,
I think,
words are spells.
Yeah.
That's why they are spelled. Jeez.
Pat, to your point about watching them, though, like I think this, like as a Packers fan, this was kind of everyone's worst nightmare because a lot of people, and granted, Jordan Love has been great, so it eases it quite a bit. But everyone kind of knew Rodgers still had this in him, and last night just was like a vintage Rodgers game. Like it felt.
Are you sure? I think people have been saying, "Hey, he's not the same dude. His arm isn't the same."
Yeah, I think a lot of Packers fans were saying that, but they were done with all the extracurricular stuff, not the stuff like on the football field. I think there's still a large majority of fans who he's unbelievable. And like last night did feel like a 2016, 2017 Rodgers. And I think if you're a Jets fan, the most exciting part is like he's still only 3 games in. Like they're going to get better. So like what we saw last night, and granted, you take it with a grain of salt because the Patriots aren't the best, but their defense is tough. Like judging by what we saw last night, like imagine what this team, if they stay healthy, is going to look like 7 weeks from now.
Look at the time of possession. Doubled them up in time of possession, Pat. Do you care about that? Is that something that was Chuck big on time of possession?
Yeah, and that means they're staying timely. They're on schedule, which is another thing to be excited about if you're a Jets fan, because you're able to put up 400 total yards, but you ran the ball, you stayed seemingly pretty balanced, you're able to kind of chip away at the clock, and whenever you needed it, you're able to complete. So it's like, I think everything went right for the Jets last night. Like, is this what they are now?
Like that's the whole
67% on third down.
Yeah, that's the third down's the difference. And then what? The Patriots were 2 for 11 on third down, and they're 10 for 15. That's if you that's what happens. Time of possession, you're converting third downs over and over and over again, Con.
Yeah, and then the night just kept going on
and on and on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
It wasn't as fun, but no, it really was. And granted, I know people say that we wash Rodgers' balls, but
which we are doing right now.
But it was genuinely cool to see, especially after to what Pat said about how like the quarterback play is down and the teams in general aren't playing well aside from the Saints. Like it was cool to see like a vintage masterclass. I mean, there was one throw he made and it was to Conklin, and the highlight was there after that cover 2 conversation, which he actually brought up in his press conference. He
which we knew was going to happen. Classic Aaron. Once again, classic Aaron.
And he did it perfectly though. I mean, the entire play shows that he like looks the guy off to the left and then throws a seed in the middle of the field. Like it was one of those things like, okay, if it's going to happen, at least I get to watch it in prime time. Yes, it sucks that I have to be the fan of the team that he's playing, where it's like, oh, okay, Aaron Rodgers is back. His Achilles is good. He feels great. This is what the Jets are going to look like. That does stink as a Patriots fan, but at the same time, it is still like, man, this guy is a maestro. And the can thing, I mean, when they would go into empty and they would just show his face and he was just looking left to right.
He's checking out everybody.
Everything. He was just looking at the entire field, and then it was like, okay, I know exactly where the ball is going. Let me just look to the right and then come back to the middle, or look to the left, come back to the right. Or, I mean, the amount of times they threw the back shoulder. I mean, one of them was on there with Mike Williams, but he also hit Garrett Wilson on a filthy back shoulder too. Like it was just one of those things where, as a fan of the Patriots, there was nothing you could do. Like, this is going to happen to a lot of teams. Aaron's going to do this to a lot of teams, and if they do stay healthy, they are a very, very scary opponent for the AFC.
Even with that Aaron cover 2 look off there, he does a little ball movement too.
Yeah.
So like even think that he's gonna. You saw that?
Yeah, that little like subtle. Yeah, it was weird what that was. Like it's almost
that was like a fake pump fake.
Yes. I think the back angle might show it here again. Yeah, you're right. Like right here, this little movement with it.
Boom, it's almost boom,
like,
right there.
It's almost like a little pump. You're right.
Yeah, because if you're looking at that, you see him turn your head. Okay, I'm not going to go because it's classic Aaron Rodgers. Then he just starts to move the ball a little bit. You can't help but just lean. And if you lean, that's literally all he needs. That is literally what he's trying to do right there. That's an entire setup. Man, it's awesome. These older quarterbacks, and I guess this kind of goes into what seemingly every older player has been saying about current football. It's like these older quarterbacks seemingly have quite an advantage as this football is turning back into what it is turning back into. Like Derek Carr's been playing football a long time. Long time. Aaron Rodgers has been playing football long time. Now, Patrick Mahomes seemingly has been playing forever, but it's like the high-end quarterback play, I think, is going to showcase itself this season, maybe more so than it ever has in the past. And then also, just like kickers, the good kickers are going to showcase themselves this year as well, which I think is going to continue to be a trend as we roll through the entire season, AJ.
Yeah, I think to top off the Jets chatter, I believe they play the Broncos next. Yes. Is that their next opponent? So, I mean, things are looking pretty good. I know the Broncos are going to get it figured out eventually, but they're dealing with their rookie quarterback, Bo Nix, and everything else. But things are looking up for the Jets. The Patriots, Pat, I don't know. Which way you think they're going?
Yeah, I think... Yeah, Connor.
We don't have to do this, okay?
We don't
celebrate the Jets and let's talk about the kickers.
I picked the Patriots +6. I picked because you dressed like a damn coach yesterday.
How was the sideline?
The sideline
see ya.
vibes going in were real good. I'll be honest, the boys were buzzing. Where was I?
Were you by Mike
Schrager was there. Schrager was there. He didn't say he saw you.
I did see Mike. Said thank you for the Stevenson Ranch hats. Those are great. I did see Schrags. I saw a couple other people I won't get into. One of them being our good friend Gary V, of course.
Sure.
He was there as well. And
Wow, Gary was there?
yeah, Gary was there. That's bad news. And if I knew this before,
Bad
Pat,
news? What? No.
I know.
for Patriots fans, I saw Gary. I said, "Oh shit!" The real news that kind of swayed me, and I should have told you this. I didn't know this. It was Fireman Ed's birthday yesterday.
Oh, my God.
We never had a chance. Okay, we never had a goddamn chance because Fireman Ed turned. I don't know. He looks pretty good. Probably 35. Spring chicken.
Yeah, run towards fires, this man. And also, I couldn't imagine being a kicker if I wasn't told, hey, the entire place is going to, and we cut it off right there, the entire place is about to say Jets, 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 while you're kicking the ball. I mean, he timed it perfectly to the kickoff, the opening kickoff. And I also like the fact that, Connor, I think there's maybe some people that started taking some sideways shots at old Fireman Ed. I think
believe me, I saw some
I think there were some people that were taking some shots at Fireman Ed. I think I like the fact Fireman Ed's been on our program.
Yep.
I have family that are firefighters. I got massive respect for firefighters. Obviously, it's not just whenever you need them and they show up, they will. But during every holiday, basically, they are leaving. Now, it used to be through beepers and pagers. We know not to use those.
No.
Ever.
Never.
Well, they're safe here.
2024.
They're safe here.
Well,
We learn. We don't. Well, whatever the
trust
case.
that?
But now, so I got massive respect for anybody that runs towards fires, not away from them whenever people need it. And he's got his fastball, and that whole stadium was behind him. I mean, that whole they were almost calling it Fireman Ed Life last night instead of Jet Life, and that has to feel so good for him because I knew that he was hearing some of the shit that was being sprayed his way. The Jets are back. Fireman Ed's pitching a perfect game thus far in MetLife, and yeah, Connor, I picked Patriots +6, and I felt immediately terrible about it as soon as I saw Aaron jog out of that tunnel and had that little bop to him. It was like, looks like this guy's about to go bananas. I assume you felt the same way.
Yeah, I mean, that first drive, you brought it up too. Even though they had to punt, I think we all kind of saw the way that ball was coming out of his hand, and it was one of those things like, son of a bitch, this is the game.
Gonzo Flu couldn't catch that ball.
Well, I mean, that ball to Garrett Wilson was asinine. I mean, you can't play that any perfect. If you told me before the game, like, Garrett Wilson had 33 yards, I would have thought maybe we had a chance, but that's why Aaron's Aaron. Like, Conklin had 95 yards or whatever. Like, he can dish the ball to anybody, and I thought it was sweet, too. Clearly trying to get Garrett Wilson a touchdown. He didn't have one. The play before this, they threw it to him, and he brought the ball all the way down to first and goal from the 2 or second and goal from the 2, and he finds a way to do it. Like, it's pretty hard to force feed your number one guy on the goal line against Gonzo, and the Gonzo flu is real. He was following Garrett Wilson all over the field. He only had, I think, 12 yards in the first half. The stat came through. He covered him on, I think, 90% of the routes, 17 and 19 or whatever. But that ball right there is ridiculous. And I forget who said it, but that is one of those passes where there's nothing you can do. It's like, all right, Aaron Rodgers makes that throw. Maybe against, Josh Allen or Tua, there might be a chance that Gonzo gets there, but I mean, it's a perfectly placed ball, and the Patriots are just first in line of the Aaron Rodgers revenge tour, and this is what the reality of the Jets is now, and it's disgusting as a Patriots fan.
Oh, it's art. The Aaron Rodgers revenge tour. Art. Art. He's a pirate. This guy's coming to get his booty. Art. That's what's going on. A lot of other stuff happening around the NFL, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, there is. Also, quickly, just to make sure move a little traffic here or talk about it. What time? Who's coming the next hour? Who's coming in the second hour?
Okay. We got Coach Saban coming.
Good. Okay. I want to make sure he's coming.
1:30 your time. Okay, this is Central Time over here.
Oh, that's right.
So there's a lot going on. I like
time
Central
zone.
Time.
It's a good
Central
time.
Time's
I
the
like
best.
It's
It's
a
the
good
best,
time
man.
zone.
Good. It'll be good to talk to Coach.
Think about Nashville.
I like Central Times. I have thought about Nashville.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there again. Texas.
Indianapolis is our town. So Coach Saban will be coming 12:30 local, 1:30 Eastern. And then Coach Patty Gasso, who is in the middle of literally the greatest run in women's college softball history. She 4 straight national championships. She'll be joining us at 2:05 Eastern, 1:05 Central Time. And we're certainly to blame in this. Not enough people know about what this lady has done here at Oklahoma. She is a fucking win. Look at that graphic. She just wins. All she does is win.
Legend.
And she doesn't have, Oklahoma doesn't have the most national championships. UCLA does. But there's a little caveat to that. It's like within this century, though, they got the most by double. So she's been a coach here for 30 years. And, they always win. And then seemingly in the middle of the best they got. So she'll join us in the third hour. Can't wait for that. SID at Oklahoma. I don't know if he's a fan of the program. No, can't get any players or coaches. Can't big game more.
What the hell?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're dialed in, I guess.
That's
they're
interesting.
focused. They know big game.
What's the spread? 'Cause
I
I'm
agree.
hammering Tennessee.
6.5, I think. Now.
Well, Tennessee by a billion.
I guess said SID does keep a tight ship. I guess this is kind of how it has gone since this guy has had this title.
Where's Stutzman?
And,
Where's Stutzman? Damn it!
Danny Stutzman. I mean, I called him Dylan yesterday. That's because Dylan and Danny
That
ran the
was
show.
a Freudian
last year.
slip.
Yeah,
You know who he is.
I'm a big fan of Cuz. He's got 11 tackles a game thus far this season. I mean, he is going bonkers, still doing his thing. Can't stop by. Coach can't stop by. We put in requests. We did put in requests.
What the
but they are focused.
hell?
It's first SEC game tomorrow, brother.
It's meeting.
What do
You got meetings, walkthrough. Today's a big day for them. Big day.
Now, I will say from what I heard, though, like a year ago we come and it let's say it's not even a conference game. Let's say it's like homecoming or something. I think we all got nobody, too. I think, and then like year ago, like let's say it was spring game. From what I've heard, nobody's available. It is tight ship. You want to hear from the Sooners? I don't think so, pal. You're going to watch them on Saturday bang some pads. And that's what we're lucky to do here. That's what we're lucky to do here. Thankful to be in Oklahoma.
There's no love in Oklahoma.
I know there's a lot of stuff going on in football, but we have to mention, Ty, please explain what happened in baseball last night.
Yeah, some people are saying it was the greatest night
Ever?
in baseball history, maybe in the history of sports. Shohei Ohtani went 6 for 6 with 10 RBIs.
Jeez.
He hit 3 home runs. He stole a base, and he is the first member ever of the 50-50 club. He's hit 50 homers this year and stole 50 bases. Probably will never happen again. It is, I mean, we've said it ad nauseum. This guy is unreal. He's unbelievable. Every night he goes out there, it's appointment television.
We have a graphic of a bunch of stats that Hembo sent over, I believe. I don't know if it made it in time because the stats are just... So, look at this. These are all the interesting stats about Shohei thus far, last night, and everything that has happened. Just so many. And we just got introduced to this guy, a couple years ago? Like, literally just learned of this guy's existence. Now, I understand I'm not a baseball expert, and I probably should have known of Shohei Ohtani before he became into the national spotlight. But thank God he's on a team that's going to get into the playoffs and get in primetime television whenever everybody's paying attention to baseball. This guy's the GOAT. And this is all without him even pitching yet. 1 year removed from his surgery that he had a year ago. He gets the biggest contract in ever, whatever. He's already living up to it and earning the money just as a hitter and as a base runner. He can still pitch. This guy could still be one of the best pitchers in baseball as well. Is that going to happen, Ty? Are they going to let him pitch again with how he's hitting right now?
I mean, I would assume so because I think that's part of the contract, but it's tough to argue that, like, the Dodgers will always be able to go out and kind of – they're very similar to, like, how the Yankees used to be. The best players in baseball want to go play there, so they'll always be able to get those, like, big-name free agents. If you have a guy doing this at the plate, like, I don't know if you need him to pitch, and then you don't have to worry about him potentially hurting his elbow and shortening his career. Like, what he's been able to do this year just as a DH, like, I mean, if you can just ask him to lock in on one side of the field and he doesn't have to worry about pitching at all, like, I mean, he's unbelievable, but I don't know if he should pitch again. Like, and it's tough.
That was his... Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's tough because he's so talented.
It's almost not worth it.
So like you know, like that's obviously very attractive to be able to have him on the bump one every 5 days. But yeah, like to Tony's point, like because if he has to have Tommy John surgery again, you know, who knows? Like that's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. But like if this guy's just hitting every single night, like he's going to produce no matter what. He's gonna have seasons like this.
Nonetheless, even if he doesn't pitch, like the attention that this dude brings to look, we're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
This, and no offense to baseball, I'm not the biggest baseball guy. We normally call the Jet, and the Jet actually hit me up on Sunday when I put that tweet out about Alex Smith going mic'd up with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and it was like a lower third graphic, and I took a picture of it, and I said, I actually can't wait to watch this because you don't get an inside look at Andy Reid's operation much. That isn't something that really happens. Alex Smith used to play there. He's good. And then right under that, it said like Dodgers Braves maybe?
Yeah,
I forget what it was.
Yep. Dodgers Braves, you're right.
Dodgers Braves thing. So I put the picture up on X and I said, I actually can't wait to watch this. And I said, not the baseball, ... obviously. And it was, I didn't mean it as a shot when I sent it out there. I was just trying to like hype up Alex Smith's segment. That's what I was, because I'm an Alex Smith fan. And then obviously the baseball people took it as a shot. And then I get a text from Passon. And I go, I didn't mean it as a shot. I was just like, journalistic standards clarifying what I was actually looking forward to. And he reads it back to me and he says, that's definitely a shot. And I was like, okay, the addition of obviously is obviously a little condescending. So I do apologize for that. But Jet was supposed to come on the show this week. I assume he would have told us about all this potentially happening. This 50-50 stuff is miraculous. And for him to do it on a night where he hits 3 home runs and ends up with 51 and 51 stolen bases, it's like the dude lives up to the hype every single time. We've never seen somebody like this, I don't think, in baseball. And by we, I mean me, who hasn't paid attention a lot to baseball. He's lightning in a bottle. He shows up. He's got some weird shit he's doing before every at-bat. It's like the stories about the translator being a degenerate gambler and stealing his money, like even added to the legend, I think, of this guy. It's like, what a perfect time for baseball to get a superstar. Genuinely. I genuinely
Ty,
feel
where was this game played?
It was in Miami, and there was actually
why is it not sold out? I mean, they knew, right?
Because there's a 9th inning there.
Yeah. There was a great chance he had already broken it. You mean at the end there? Okay.
Yeah. Well, but also like the Marlins just suck. But there was a
but they want to watch Shohei do something that nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, it's school night. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Thursday night football.
There was an awesome moment last night too. Is after Shohei already had 2 homers, and the Marlins were getting their ass beat, and someone asked their manager like, hey, do we want to walk him because they had a position player in pitching? And he looked right at the guy and he was like, fuck that. I got way too much respect for this guy. No, we're not walking him. And then he hits a 3-run homer. Like it was just, so,
What was that pitch he hit? That seemed like one that I would have wanted when I was playing for the Washington Wild Things, that third one in the 9th. That looked like that was high and slow.
Yeah, that's just kind of an eephus, where you kind of just lob it in there and hope that the hitters, because he's not seeing very many 67 mile an hour or whatever.
Or is this a changeup? Like, what was that?
Is that a position player?
I believe so.
Oh, probably. It is. Okay.
It's just more so like a, hey, why don't you have 2 home runs, why don't you get a third? Come get it.
I dare you. The floater. What if the guy would have done underhand floater like Rookie of the Year to him? That would have been
He probably would have struck him out.
For real.
I don't think so. I think Shohei probably does bat flip like the dudes from Savannah Bananas and takes it
into a home run.
You think?
He's so good, dude. He is. I don't know how anybody watches an entire game or an entire season. More respect to all of you. But if Paul Skeens is pitching, I'm going to tune in. And if Shohei Ohtani's playing, I'm going to tune in. I think that's good news for baseball as a whole, Ty. Legit.
Yeah, without a doubt. And not to be a homer, but like what we're seeing with Aaron Judge too, like they have the guys right now in baseball.
How's Bryce doing?
He's always solid. Phillies are very good. It's kind of the same thing, and he's a gamer, so he always shows up in the playoffs. Yep. Like that's why if you are a very casual baseball fan, I would encourage, once the playoffs do start and we're in the middle of the week and we don't have football and there's not really a whole lot going on, like we really do have the best players in the game playing in the playoffs. So like it'll definitely be something worth watching. Skeens unfortunately won't be there because the Pirates stink. But outside of that, they do. You know it.
Yeah, they do.
It's unfortunate.
They do, but he doesn't.
He doesn't. He is unbelievable.
He's gonna look great in a Dodgers uniform.
He's that Maserati thing that Rieger put out.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Well, or the Bugatti,
similar,
whatever it is.
Yeah,
similar. Yeah,
same thing though.
What happened to Connor Joe?
Who?
Connor Joe? I thought he was off to a hot start.
He was.
That was like 8 months ago.
What? Oh, he's not good
Who's
anymore?
Connor Joe?
What's happening?
Oh,
Connor
great
Joe's
player
on
on the Pirates. Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was hitting like 800 through the first 10 games when they were undefeated. It was awesome.
Who wasn't Jared Jones the guy? Was that the Hundo boy?
Yeah,
Hundo boy.
He got hurt and then he came back and he's all right. Yeah.
Kutch, you guys still got Kutch.
Kutch has
How's
been
he
dominant.
doing?
Yeah, he's been great.
He's hitting the ball?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
setting all the records for the oldest player to do this and that and that. Because he's a legend.
Getting her steps in.
Hey, while we're at it, Tigers are the hottest team in baseball,
Shut up.
baby. Yeah, Tigers are going to
He's
make the
not wrong.
playoffs.
He's
One of the
not
greatest
wrong.
comebacks in
cares?
MLB history.
No
The
one-
Detroit Tigers are in the middle of.
Hey, do you know that the owner of the Red Wings owns the Tigers?
Yep.
Okay.
Also owns Little Caesars.
Okay.
And also, get this, Charles E. Chester Pizza as well.
What?
Where's that? Where's
Those
that?
pizzas stink, though.
Where's Chester?
Whoa, whoa.
Watch
No
your
one
mouth,
out pizza's
Tony.
the hot brother.
Charles
I'm sorry. Did they not get out pizza all the time? Or,
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah,
Feel
by
like
the
they've been
hot,
getting
but
out
who
pizza,
doesn't?
brother.
Okay, let's remember who we.
To be,
He was
To be
talking
clear-
about Little Caesars, not Chuck E. Cheese.
Whoa, that's good
Yeah.
pizza, too.
Nope, it's not.
no
They
one
both
out pizza's
stink.
the hut.
Thank you.
No one out pizza's
Yeah,
the
but
hut.
that's
I
like
mean,
the
there's-
GOAT. Like, we understand that
Yeah.
Pizza Hut's the GOAT, so we're just in the other category.
I'm just saying,
I'd
boys.
put Little
let's not
Caesars
forget.
and Chuck E. Cheese
let's
right
not
there.
forget.
Chuck E. Cheese is a close two.
So you're saying that's like Powerade, you know, like it's like Phil Mickelson.
Yes.
Like if Tiger's
Bingo.
available to golf in his prime, we're going to take that. But if Tiger happens to not be in his time, we will go for Phil Mickelson. No offense, Phil. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is a pizza comparison,
Right.
and I think Phil understands it. I mean, that's just a matter of fact in that whole thing. I appreciate you stating that and pointing that out because those Pizza Hut pizzas have been hitting a little bit too much, too quick, too early these days.
Oh, my God.
What are we? We're in week 3 right now. We're in week 3 right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had 5 slices yesterday afternoon. 5 slices of thin crust pepperoni Pizza Hut pizza.
I mean, you can eat a
just
whole
in the
pizza.
afternoon.
You can eat a large thin crust yourself. I mean,
Without a
I could
doubt.
Easily.
Yeah, but Pizza Hut is becoming like a part of almost daily regimen at this point. My taste buds have never been happier. Jeez, how about the mood yesterday in the Thunderdome whenever Pizza Hut showed up, boys?
It was unbelievable. It was like we saw. It was like Jesus Christ walked in. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it like hovered in.
Yeah.
You know, just like Jesus Christ would. Hey, there's another Jesus book movie coming out, right? In there.
That is correct.
what?
There is a sequel to The Passion of the Christ coming out.
who's
And-
playing the big guy?
Mel.
The same guy, Jim
Is it-
Caviezel.
Is
Yeah.
it really? I didn't know Jim was. Is it really?
It is
When's
not
it
Mel
come-
Gibson.
safe to say it is not Mel Gibson.
Oh, I thought it was.
Why? What happened?
thought it was.
Just say a couple people wouldn't be thrilled if Mel Gibson was playing Jesus.
I didn't think
All
Mel
right,
was
let's talk.
playing Jesus.
Was he a part of it?
Let's talk about this. Hey, hold on. Let's talk about the sequel. I didn't see the original. I think I've heard though. Okay,
Sure.
at this point, how it went. What's the sequel going
Yeah.
to be?
The,
We're coming back.
the sequel is all going to be about his resurrection and his ascension into heaven.
Oh,
So kind
Okay,
of the
and
Easter stuff.
So I've never
cool.
been a big reader. Okay, I've never been a big reader, especially because my entire life there's like TV series and movies and stuff, and I'll just watch that and do that. The Bible obviously has way too many pages. Okay, I don't know.
Lot of 'em.
I don't know if I'm going to make it through there. So whenever they make the movie version, I feel very good about it. I'm about to get the end of the book now. We're saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the end.
I mean, the end of the New Testament.
It never ends.
What about the Old Testament? Well, is there another Testament?
Well, yeah. So the Old Testament is before Jesus, and then the New Testament
You mean
is
BC?
If you would like to, yes, that is technically
Nice.
BC. And
Talking
then-
hellfire and brimstone kind of stuff.
Exactly, and then the New Testament is Jesus' teachings told to us through a couple of different people.
Disciples.
Who's the best? Relayer of the story? Do some of them have a little bit more sauce than the others? You know, can you see?
would say
Can you sense
subjective,
personality
right?
differences?
I think you can. You know, it's been a while since I've really boned up on my Bible reading.
Yep.
But Paul's letters,
Paul's got some
obviously.
good
you know,
stuff.
next,
Paul's a good
next
one.
Matthew.
Austin.
Yeah.
Austin 3:16.
Oh,
Joseph.
Yeah.
Sure.
Say that a lot.
All right.
Abraham.
Hey, there's some big stories around college football this weekend. Obviously, first SEC game here for Oklahoma against Tennessee. It's going to be a buzz. It's going to be on fire. But there's like a lot of brand new conference games happening this
USC
weekend.
Michigan,
Tone.
Pat. Yeah, USC Michigan, right?
Michigan's a huge one. I mean, tonight, Stanford goes into the Carrier Dome at Syracuse, which is just super weird to be a conference game. But yeah, there's a ton. It's like, hey, we're finally starting. Like Cal, who does Cal have this weekend? Oh, off the top of my head. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. But like they play one that's weird. It's Utah, Oklahoma State's a huge one, which is a new conference game. They're all. It's like we're starting to get used to this thing, but once you see it, it's a little weird that Michigan, SC, Utah, Oklahoma State, like Stanford, Syracuse. It's a little weird to start off that those are all conference games this weekend.
Yeah, Tennessee, Oklahoma. That's going to continue,
Yeah.
and new rivalries are going to be born. Like this one here, Heupel's coming back for the first time, since like 2014. And I guess I don't know if there still is, but I'm learning as we go. There's some real sauce. Some
beef.
There were some feelings. There were some feelings in that entire thing. So obviously, this is a natural rivalry taking place because of who's leading the Tennessee team. But with this Venables-led squad, like this is national prominence now since Venables has got their potential here. So these new rivalries that are being born from this conference realignment, I think, is a beautiful thing, and I think it's going to be a great weekend. Now, Texas plays Louisiana Monroe, and obviously the massive storyline out of that is Louisiana Monroe coach said, we got a couple boys on the team that played against Arch already, and they beat them. So we're not really worried.
Yeah, we're not worried.
We're not really worried about. You're not worried about that. It's like, well, Arch isn't at that private school anymore. He's at Texas, which has 5 stars everywhere. This team. And it's going to become a conversation point, I think, in college football, mostly because all the people that are like the faces of college football are kind of reiterating the same thing. The depth at Texas, the depth at some of these schools is so apparent. And like the Arch Manning story, obviously we've chatted about it in abundance because Manning, so obviously we're going to talk about it because, football family, football royalty that we know well. And I think I met Arch when he was just a little boy. I think I've actually shaken this man's hand whenever he was just a little boy around the Manning family in the past. But it's like, if you think about what Quinn Ewer did before Arch got in this last game, I think he was, what was he, 14 of 16 with 2 touchdowns?
Yep. That was before Arch came in and had his 5.
And then he was the number 1 Heisman guy.
Yep.
Okay, he's the odds-on favorite for the Heisman. He was the number 1 quarterback coming out of college next year. Then Arch Manning goes in after he goes 14 of 16 with 2 touchdowns. And Arch Manning goes bananas. And then Arch Manning now is a higher Heisman odds than Quinn Ewer. It is wild what happens there. So I reached out to the Manning family. Okay? Yeah. One of my sources in the Manning family said this: "We are old school. You never lose your job from an injury. It'll get handled. Everybody assumes that Arch is on this fast track to the NFL. That is not true. We are in no hurry. Wow. He wants to develop. He wants to stay in Sark's system. He decided to go there knowing that Quinn Ewers was going to be there. So the way that I think the entire Mannings and Arch and everybody is going to view this, even though outside it might get loud if Arch goes bananas, is like, hey, this has been a plan all. I'm completely cool with it. And if Quinn Ewers comes back and he happens to miss some time later, I'm all good. And he's just taking this as like valuable reps pretty much for the grand scheme of this thing. I think they really want Arch to live like normal college football life before all this stuff. You come for education, you come to learn program, you can back up, you can not play, you can watch somebody else play, you can handle it all. It's like, that's kind of been their mission since the beginning. And just if he scores 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks, that's not going to change it. They still are very much, and they're big fans of Quinn Ewers, I believe. So it is a good problem for them to have, but it is going to get loud. I think we all know that's going to be a reality, but like the Manning family is like, yeah, he's thankful he's getting to play right now, and then let's just move on, which is like classic football stuff. I love it, AJ.
I do.
Because think about the transfer portal NIL money that could have came to Arch after last year whenever he didn't play last year. It's like that money could be gigantic. Instead, I know they don't need it. I get it, that whole thing. But it's still like the opportunity just to sit, chill, develop, learn. Let's not be in a rush here. Like, that's very old school, and I respect the shit out of it, AJ.
Yeah, it's kind of opposite of everything we're seeing right now. Like when you look throughout the country with what other quarterbacks are doing, in any position, which I don't knock dudes ever for transferring. Hey, if you don't have an opportunity, you don't see it, and you need to go somewhere else to play, I understand that. But with Arch, yeah, the fact that now he's thrust in here, and you're right, he's probably going to have a huge game, probably put up huge numbers. I'm sure he and Quinn Ewers have a great relationship. I'm sure there's no, like, tension or stress there. The more pressure is going to be on Sark. Like, if Quinn Ewers comes back and he doesn't, if he doesn't throw 100%, complete 100% of his passes and throw for 6 touchdowns a game, there's going to be moments when people are going to be calling for Arch. You just got to keep winning, I guess, if you are Quinn Ewers. But it's a good problem to have, but it's not a problem. It's just a situation you have to deal with, I guess, if you're the head coach.
It's the reality of the situation. Reality is that is just
You're right.
that is just what it is in the modern world. But I think from within the team, within the locker room, within like friends, family of all situations, everybody understands what the deal is. Yeah. Everybody is on board, and Quinn Ewers has shown 0 signs of struggling. Like, just this year, their team
He's supposed to win the high.
is so
They killed Michigan.
Yeah, he
Killed
looked really good
Michigan at Ann Arbor. Killed them.
team is so good. Team is so good. But it's like if he does struggle a little bit, the outside noise is going to be loud, and that's at Texas regardless. If the backup was to come in and play the way we assume Arch to play, and the starter has a little bit of a down thing, but then you add in that name, and you add in a name, it's going to get real loud. Whether you like it or not, that's just reality of the situation. But it feels like within the camps, everybody understands the sitch, which is cool, and that's why I think a lot of people like this Texas team to go win this thing this year.
And
that's.
That whole
Go ahead.
thing about, your sources telling you, like, hey, you never lose your job from an injury, like, that feels like a very NFL-type mindset, too, just because in college, I feel like that does happen, actually.
That happens everywhere, not just
Everywhere. Pros, it
it's
happens
real.
too, yeah.
No, people lose their job all the time to injury. It happens.
Yeah, Wally Pipp, I guess, was just hungover or whatever. But like,
I guess more so the person that came in took the job from the person that got hurt. You can still, whoever comes in, they got to play well, and they got to say, hey, we're not putting this guy on the bench.
Justin Herbert did that.
Yeah, it happened with Brady. I'm just saying, like, the mentality of it, that feels like a very old-school NFL type.
Yeah, they're going to do and say all the right things. The Mannings, they've have so many reps, and they've dealt
we
with
don't
every
know if
football
that's
situation.
from a Manning.
Yeah.
That's from a source.
No, I'm not saying.
Says
I'm not saying your
within
source.
the Manning
Not your source.
Camp.
I'm saying we know that they are
I
professional.
will say the source that I have has the last name of Manning.
Okay, all right.
Okay, good.
I will say.
No,
it's anonymous, but it does have a Manning name.
And it's funny because of the Manning name, because like Quinn came out. He came out earlier. He was also the number one quarterback in his class.
Remember the mullet? Remember everything we
yeah.
got on campus at Ohio
Sick.
State? All the clips of him with his, it was awesome.
I had to go to the state of Ohio so he could get $1 million because Texas wasn't allowing it at the time. So that's literally why he chose Ohio State. And we were talking about him. We were pumped for him. And I'm still a massive fan of Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
But it's just like the reality is that this is a problem. It's a good problem, but it is certainly something that has to get kind of handled. And I think they will. And it feels good.
Everything I've read, though, to your point about the relationship, Pat, is that because they were so similar coming out, besides the last name or whatever, that the Ewers and Manning relationship is like, as a mentor, Quinn has been awesome to Arch.
Yeah, and that matters. Like if the backup hates the starter, and there's this drive, like a public drive for the backup will feed it. And by feeding it is saying nothing. Saying nothing. Instead, I assume, even though he is not the starter, like at some point there's going to be a question to Arch about it, and he is going to, I think, reiterate the fact that it's been this entire time. Like, this is a plan. I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is literally what I came here for. So, let's never forget that. And we got nothing but time. Him running 20 miles an hour, that was crazy. As a Manning,
Nuts.
How big
as
is
a
he?
Manning?
What are his dims? Arch.
Big.
Yeah, I
Is
think
he
6'3", I
6'5",
think?
6'4"?
No, 6'3".
Because Peyton and
I think
Eli
he's like
are
6'3".
both. They are giant humans. I don't think people realize until you get in front of them in person.
He's listed as
very
6'4", the
large.
same as his dad, Cupper.
What's his dad's name?
Cupper.
With a U?
Well, it's Cooper.
Cupper
They
Manning?
say
You?
Cup.
You don't know Cupper
Now
Manning?
that's that Southern
I know.
Cupper. Yeah.
Ole Miss wide receiver? Cupper?
Hey, Cupper's hilarious, though. I will say.
yeah.
I haven't got to hang around the whole family that many times, but anytime you do, it's like they all look to Cupper to like bring the juice, almost like bring the energy. And he and Cupper shows up every damn time, I must say. How about him flying the Texas flag in Ann Arbor?
So sick.
And then for like just
It
to let
worked
him,
out for him too. Huh.
yeah, and then they go in. I don't know how business is going to do, and it might have been, a business suicide decision, but still hilarious to think about. Just say, yeah, Texas coming at Dahn. Let's fly that flag, put it up, let them know what the deal is. I love it. I love it all.
That's right. A lot of confidence as we're up against the hard out here, Pat. Obviously, Nick Saban will be with us on the other side. Patty Gasso will be here in the third hour. Come on back.
Hell yeah. Joining us is a demon. Ladies and gentlemen, O's the Mentalist will be joining us.
All right, O's.
Let's go. What's the pick? I'm not giving away for free. Bill, what time is it right now?
7:57.
Write it as big as you can.
Wow.
It's about to get
This guy.
weird. From this point on, I never touch this bad boy. We're
Thank
going
God.
to revisit later in the draft.
All right, O's, get in here, you sick son
Get
of a
here.
bitch.
Almost 2
Hold it,
hours.
hold it. Oh, don't drop it.
Oh, no,
After
no,
all
I
that,
dropped it, I
Boston.
dropped it.
Okay, AJ, take the cards, look through them, and here's the thing. I want this to be random. Yeah, you can Okay.
Yeah,
I don't care
what's
what you do. Look at him.
My hands are a bit
Here, stop,
frozen,
stop.
but yeah.
I want you to take, but hold on. I don't want you to look for your favorite.
Bill's
I want
booking
you
Sean Payton right now.
to
There we go.
lift
Head
up.
boy Bill.
AJ, slow. Lift. No.
What, one of your guys?
Take off a piece.
Oh,
it could
you
be a
fucked
lot
my
or a little.
shirt. Oh, right here.
And don't look at it. Lift it up.
I'm not.
Put it against your body. That feel right?
Yeah, feels
AJ,
great.
if you don't feel like this was the right moment for you and you want to change, put it back.
All right, I'm putting it back.
It's up to you. All right, lift off wherever you want.
We're back.
More or less. A piece.
No, that's not okay. Now I'm
you
good.
want. Is
3
that good?
times.
Good.
Okay.
This is a good one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Stay right there, locked and loaded.
Oh, you fucked up my shirt,
That's
bro.
not, And there is a white piece of paper.
Yep.
Is that right? That's all that's in there. Take that out. I want you to see this. Look, AJ, open it up.
No fucking way.
No
And
way.
show us and show AJ what you got. What is that? Show us 9-9. Turn around and show us where you're at.
You ready?
Yep, turn it around.
No way. Shut up! This guy!
757, that thing.
What?
That's been in there since 7:57. Imagine that you somehow know the game of the year next season. Tell us, what are the two teams that you're seeing in this game? Say it.
Packers and 49ers.
Who do you think's going to win that game?
Packers 34, Niners 27.
Tell me on your life. Did I tell you to say anything? Did I
You
say
did it, and I swear to God, if you get this right, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off.
Tell him the game of the year.
Oh my
Read
God.
Read it to him, please.
Come on, bro.
Read him to him. Packers beat the 49ers
Get the fuck outta here,
34-27. Remember this screen grab when it happens this season. Open up what's been in there since 7:57.
Come on, dude. There's something wrong with you.
Open it up. It says Brock Bowers, 32
How?
pick Raiders.
Fuck this guy. Oh, fucking way! There's no way!
This guy's a witch. Bears, Caleb Williams.
100% we knew it.
Commanders,
No.
Jaden Daniels.
No, don't you dare.
Patriots, Drake May. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. Chargers, Joe Walt. Giants, Malik Neighbors. Titans, J.C. Latham. Michael Penix Jr. Roma Dunze. Vikings from
Traded
Jets.
with the Jets.
What? J.J. McCarthy, Jets from Vikings. Olu Fashanu, Broncos, Bo Nixon in the 13th pick.
Oh my God!
Bowers to the Raiders.
whoa.
I'm so happy I'm not.
Whoa.
Taped on his chest since 7:57. Right now it is 9:50.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go, hour two, the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting at Pat's desk. He's in Norman, Oklahoma, at the Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Football! It's going to be played there tomorrow, Pat. Obviously, you get to deal with a little bit of a delay there, I think, maybe, but you have a beautiful OU hat on as we open up this hour two.
So I didn't hit the football on time? Is that what you were trying to say with my delay?
No, I think you hit it on time, but I don't. Your time might be like a second behind this time.
He's an hour behind.
behind
He's an hour
as well.
behind.
He also
Beautiful hour.
participated, AJ.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a part of the team. You know, I don't get to do that much because I'm normally doing what you're doing, but I want to let you know what you're doing right now, where you're doing it. I'm very grateful for it. Way to go, AJ. Way to make it drive.
Okay.
Good job, Hogger.
Way to make it drive, AJ. I want to let you know during the break I was gifted a student cowboy hat.
Nice.
And,
Hell yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to be doing some light ranching in this thing a little bit later around town,
Hell yeah.
and I'm very grateful. I believe this is made in the USA, obviously.
Sure.
Right here, worn by the best. It says. Okay, I don't know
Who's that?
what that means, and this is a Seeger Grit Company.
Okay.
Cowboy.
Bob?
So. Western Seeger Company, worn by the best, made in the USA headwear. It says right
What's
here.
the skies look
And-
like? Make sure you keep your eyes on that updraft.
Well, if you can feel it,
You can chase it.
I can't feel it yet, but I do feel the weather is much nicer than it could be. It is hot Okay, let's not get it twisted. And
Hell
shout out
yeah.
to the whole crew here. And this thing is certainly a heavy mantle. Okay, I didn't know we were riding heavy bikes still, but I feel very professional. And obviously, it's great to be here in Oklahoma, AJ.
Yes, it is. Now, I know, moving back to the NFL stuff, what's this private equity situation? Do you know exactly what's going on? This private equity group can buy 10% up to 12 teams or something. Do you know any more about this, Pat?
One specific consortium of private equity funds has been authorized to acquire up to 10% of up to 12 teams. If fully exercised, the group will have plenty of influence over league business via Mike Florio, who is always boots on the ground whenever it comes to any legalese or financial stuff. There's been an approved set of venture capitalists or private equity firms that are able to buy 10% of each team. Now, the reason why you would do this if you're an owner is you can profit off of the incredible value of your teams right now without giving up your majority stake. So being able to acquire private equity money at this exact time where the NFL is feels like a great business decision for 31 billionaires that own teams and potentially want to get some liquid pretty quick. Now, not every team's going to be able to do this because of the percentage of ownership, who has majority ownership, who has minority ownership, who's the acting leader, who's not. But those teams that have a good amount of separation between majority percentage of ownership versus not, if they can sell away 10% and capitalize on how profitable the NFL is right now and how valuable these teams are, boy, you're going to see some big old bank accounts get bigger here over the next 6 months or so. So private equity, for people that don't know, are a bunch of rich people putting their money together. Okay, so think of all the rich people and then think of them having a meeting and then saying, you know what, you can take 50% of our money and just put it into the pile with everybody else's 50% of the money, and then they can invest in every company in the world pretty much, and then we just own everything and our money just continues to grow. But if we don't do that with our money, what the fuck else are we going to do with our money? We have too much money. So you're talking about like trillions of dollars in some of these funds. Some of these people are operating obviously hundreds of billions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars. There's like so much money in private equity. So feels like this is the right move for these owners to make. As soon as I heard about it, I thought, okay, so I need to get 6 private equity funds to want to buy 10% each. Then all of a sudden we have 60%, and I somehow work my way into a percentage or two of this thing, and we run an NFL team. Okay, that's what my brain was immediately thinking.
Like
Turns out up to 10%, so that can't happen. See, they thought of me before they even rolled the rule out. This is a way to get a lot of money, I think, with how valuable the NFL is. Personally, I think, and it's a good business move. I think it's a good business.
Sure, and these owners, yeah, they can get some nice cash right off the bat and not have to give up too much of the team. But also these private equity groups. The NFL's not going down, is it? We know that seems like the one thing that no matter what they do right now, it's only going up, it seems like.
Well, the private equity groups don't get involved in things they think they're going to lose money with, and I think that's how they end up with so much money. So the rocket ship is there, the value is high, and you get a suite at a game. You know, you get to say you're an owner, you get to walk around on a sideline.
That's the reason. That's the reason a lot of them do it too. Hey, yeah, I'm a part owner of this squad.
The amount of.
Yep.
How you doing?
It's my team.
But what if your group has stake in 10 different teams?
Well,
you just go
guess
to
what?
You go to all those games?
Guess what? My team's playing my team today.
Whoa.
Everybody wins.
How about
Split
that?
jerseys.
Yep.
Split jerseys.
All my
Split
teams are in the
suits.
playoffs.
Oh,
Split suits on both sides. You know, I thought about getting into the, you know, because our company, you know, owned 100% of, you know. So, like, there's been a lot of investment into entertainment, network platforms, programs, yada, yada, yada. So I thought about learning about the private equity world, just to be like, yeah, I'll take a 15% payday real quick, and then I'll map out a way for us to make their money back for them while also getting enough cash to be able to make all the boys millionaires and be able to set up for the rest of their life. And what do we got to do? We got to work for another 6 years. So I have looked into this world, and I don't think I'm the only one. And it sounds like the NFL was like, there's more money to go get over there. We should let it in if they want to get there. But the next team that goes up for sale is going to set the next precedent for what a purchase price is, and then it's just going to continue to go as the numbers continue to yodel. Even if we lose cover 2, this league is still going to profit with it.
Yeah, hopefully we don't. I don't know if any of these private equity suits, you think any of them are getting into their cold tubs, full custom suit that they get tailored for them? Because Joey Bosa has been telling us, Pat, that he thinks his old ball coach has been jumping in with khakis and everything into the tub. Is that something that you've done?
Well, that's commitment to the gimmick. You know, he's living his gimmick. And that is something that everybody wants. Full authenticity, full transparency, and all these things are what makes Coach Harbaugh awesome. I wonder if he's Gary Brecka product, because I saw Gary Brecka on a rooftop in New York the other day doing his breathing exercise.
Okay.
Like it was like 3 of 10 of something like that. I was watching it. I watched a guy hyperventilate, and then somehow it was better for his soul. I need to get in on that. And if that's what Harbaugh's doing, if it's going to make me healthier, we need to think about doing it. Cold tub's a game changer, though. Cold tub's a game changer. That is a life changer. Dana White's in that.
We're in the cold tub era. Sorry to cut you off, but we're kind of in the cold tub era right now, where everyone, it's
Wim Hof.
You open your phone up, you may see 30 to 40 people before 7 a.m. talk about their cold plunge that morning.
Yeah, a lot of shirtless folks, which is why Jim was probably sick of it. He was sick of opening his Instagram and seeing all these half-naked people hopping in their cold tubs. He's like, you can wear your clothes in there. It's the same temperature, you know.
That's true.
Like, if your khakis get the water, it's still going to be just as cold as if you weren't wearing khakis. So why do I got to see Dana White, Joe Rogan, all these people naked on the internet every single day? It's because the cold tub, inflammation goes down. Okay, you got a clear mind. The brain fog that you have disappears. Okay, a little soreness or dragginess, your metabolism speed up, so everything's sped up. So you hop your ass in some ice, shirtless, on the internet, you're a better human. Dana White had it snowing on him. Did you see that? He was in Ireland.
What?
What do you mean?
He was in a cold tub inside, and it was snowing on him while he was in there.
Huh.
It's like it's like a super sweet cold tub that these people are doing. And you say we're in the cold tub era. Wim Hof started this in a frozen ass lake over there in what cold ass country is he from?
Iceland or
Nova Scotia.
Well, Greenland.
Iceland's actually kind of nice.
Greenland.
Not
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
Excuse me, Greenland. Excuse me.
Or Norway,
Quack.
somewhere over
Yeah.
there.
Quack.
Or no, he's done.
Quack.
He's done.
Quack. 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 Quack.
Quack, 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 quack.
Yeah, I learned more about the world through Mighty Ducks than anything else. Greenland actually ice. Iceland actually nice.
Yeah.
That is the entirety. But yeah, the cold tub's a real deal. I need to get in one. It is starting to heat up quick, especially with this heavy back I got on here. This thing is not a lot of breathing the hair's doing or the head's doing right now.
What's the
so it's a little thick.
Hey, you said you walked a class with 100 students. I would imagine
Two different classes.
people are pretty juiced on campus today, right, for the game?
Yeah, everybody I've talked to is very excited about the weekend. I don't know if this is what normal football weekend is, though. So I guess the campus just surrounds this stadium.
That's
so it's just
that's sick.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. So I think football is always going to be massive. I think game day coming, I think people are excited about. They seemingly were excited about. But first game in the SEC, I think there is a palpable buzz around Norman here. And, Okie State's about an hour away, I guess. Okie State is about an hour away. Oklahoma City's 20. Yeah. So it's great to be here in Oklahoma. Ain't no love here. It is hot as shit, but
right.
They love ball. They love ball out here. And you know what else they love, from what I've heard?
What's that?
Wrangling tornadoes.
Oh,
right?
hell yeah.
Do they?
That's what they
When's
do. They put
tornado
them in
season,
it.
Tone? When, what part of the year?
Normally spring into the summer. We're coming out of it now.
It just depends if you can feel it.
Yeah.
Because if you
I
can
can't feel it. You think that's a natural thing? Will I just be able to feel it? If it's going to happen?
Yeah, you'll feel it. The hair will stand up on the back of your neck, and you'll just kind of get like a sixth
Yeah,
sense.
putting that cowboy hat on, that certainly that's taking you from a level 1 to a level 5 of being able to feel it.
Now you put a straw one on, you're going to feel it even more. Yeah, see,
that's the NATO dance right there. You might be feeling it right now.
What do you think? It looks like you're feeling it a bit.
Like if your shirt was whipping a little bit.
You got it?
I can feel it a little bit.
You can feel it.
I could.
It's in your bone.
It was kind of going through my, they say this is God's country, and it felt like the wind was kind of, radiating a little bit of the heavenly spirit through me. It does, feels great out here. It is, you go into a college football movie out here. The color, it's also historic. Oklahoma's so historic.
Mm-hmm.
But recent memory hasn't really been, what everybody has had it being forever. So it's if they're back, I think this is a good place for it to be back at, because what I walked around and saw, active campus. Active.
Yeah, it's
very, very active. Go ahead.
It's a bummer Heupel's about to just lay a 50 burger on him, because boy, those Tennessee boys are rolling right now. Yeah, I think.
You think Stutzman's gonna let that happen?
I think Stutzman is gonna put some unbelievable tape on the field. I think he's going to establish himself as a
Don't you think
first-round
it's going to be a
pick.
little tight? Don't you think it's going to be a little tight in here for the Tennessee boys, maybe? Because with that hurry, just like Peyton was talking to Kirk and Eli, like when they're doing 2-minute, first play has to be a positive play. You understand? First play has to be a positive play. When you're running that quick tempo, that first play is a massive ordeal. First play of drive have to have a little positive. If it gets, if the Sooners fans get a little loud and get a little raucous, and this place is upside down, if that Tennessee team starts a little tight or discombobulated, it's like, then it turns into a dogfight all of a sudden.
Well, yeah.
And can Venables do that? Go ahead, Tom.
I just think Heupel's got an axe to grind.
He does.
And I think
He
his
certainly
boys
does.
are going to show up for him. And I'm not going to try and say the quarterback's name from Tennessee because I will.
Iamaleava.
Boom. That guy, I think, is going to put on for his head football coach.
Well, he's looked really good so far, but he hasn't played football in front of 90,000 screaming fans yet. Well, he has at his
Tennessee?
own place.
Huh?
Yeah, he has at his
What's
own
that
place.
about Tennessee?
He has at his own place, and I've been in Knoxville, and that's where the SEC was born. And boy, could you feel it when you were there. But he hasn't had 90,000 screaming fans on the road yet. So we'll see.
Especially out here.
Yeah.
You ever talk to Brent Venables, the head coach of Oklahoma? That dude is a
I tried to
fiery
today.
Panther.
He wasn't allowed.
Are they coming on tomorrow? Do you know? Are the coaches coming on game day?
I'm not.
Who knows?
Not at liberty to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? It's a night game, I believe, right?
I think it's really hard to talk to anybody from the Oklahoma football world. I think it is. That's what I tried to talk about in the last hour. I think
They're locked in.
Coach Saban been able to accomplish a lot.
Sure.
Has somehow managed to be able to have conversations. Kirby Smart accomplished a lot. Has somehow managed to be able to, do some things. Dabo during that entire has figured out a way. Sark has figured out a way. Ryan Day.
Neil Brown.
Yeah, Neil
Ryan
Brown.
Day
has figured out.
talk to Lou Holtz.
True.
So I'm just saying there is no precedent that you are curing COVID here by saying you can't have a conversation to a show. This is because all of the people that have been, So I think there is a little interesting feel around here. They're super locked in focus, and they have a way of doing things, and that's okay with them. That's completely okay with them. And I hope they go on to win, and it is beautiful here, but it's like, can we just have a conversation with fucking Danny Stutzman? The kid is awesome.
Real quick, too. Not going to keep.
Shouldn't the world know about Danny? Don't we want the world to know about Danny? This kid's incredibly cool. So, there's a lot of that, but hey, football town. You can tell. You can feel that. And we're chasing it tomorrow, for sure.
Football town. Another thing, and back to the NFL, quick tie. Jordan Love, I hear, is in pads. So I assume this
What's
guy was
that
out for
all
a few
about?
weeks.
Whoa.
He's
What
in
is
pads
that
for the
all
second
about?
straight day, correct, Ty?
Today would be the third straight.
Third straight day, and they're playing the Titans
Well,
this weekend.
third straight day he has practiced. Yes, he has been in pads.
What else are you hearing about that? Is he actually taking a bunch of reps? Like, what are we doing?
So LaFleur was very tongue in cheek about what he did in practice, how limited he was in the team portion of it. I think a lot of people still think, like his team especially, and I would assume the Packers, like they always kind of circled the Vikings game with next week, with that being the first division game of when he'll come back. But also, like if he feels much better and he feels ready to go, and there's not the potential for him to hurt that knee more than it's already hurt, I think there is a very good chance that he actually is going to go on Sunday.
This video right here is from today, Pat.
I think
this
so.
is from today. He's warming up with the squad like 10 minutes ago.
doing everything.
Bouncing around.
He's doing sideways, too. So that was the thing that I was watching on this film. He was able to jog forward straight line with that brace on. But you saw him, he didn't plant on his left foot as he was throwing there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if the side-to-side was potentially an issue or the twisting was an issue. But he's hopping one-legged here. Okay.
What did he do, MCL?
Yeah.
This guy's a freaking
The fact that he's jumping one-legged side to side, that is what is impressive to me, because MCL and side-to-side situations are very painful.
Huge ordeal. That's why whenever they showed that clip of him throwing and he was kind of light on his his plant foot.
Even if right here, if he's shuffling and touching the line and get a little burst.
Jordan Love's playing. Jordan Love's. Yeah, he's back in the back there. You see, he's. You see him. He's.
I see the red
he's right,
jerseys.
He's right.
I'm sure if he's doing this, they're actually
there.
really
There. You see him?
Now I got
yeah,
him.
they're really testing him. They're not doing it just.
Maybe
for
he'll
show.
be inactive emergency quarterback with pads on.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Russell Wilson move. Is this the throw from earlier? Yeah, see, like he picked his foot up, his front foot up and moved it. There wasn't like a full torque on that thing. Yeah. So that was my immediate question after seeing that clip for the first time there while we were live. Shout out to Domofsky getting the footage on an iPhone, which there's a movie coming out shot completely on an iPhone with a massive lens on front of it and everything else. But nonetheless, great shot there by Domofsky. When I see him going sideways, that's the important part here. Yeah. And why would you? Long season. With what you were just able to do there to the Indianapolis Colts, I don't want to say I try to steal another one with Malik, but definitely would try to wait, to get your guy back. But if he comes back this weekend, what a dog. An absolute dog, Ty.
Yeah. Ty, what do you think? Do you want him back, obviously, as a longtime Packer fan?
I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say because obviously that is the concern, as if he's they always say, like, well, hey, if he's not going to injure himself more, which is kind of horseshit.
Like, no matter what, you can always injure yourself more. Like but with an MCL, you can wear a brace that limits a lot of that, like, side to side, so you definitely can protect your MCL.
I just think if you look at the winning, if they would have got beat by the Colts last week and they were 0-2, like, I think if he's
close,
70%, if he's even close, like, hey, you got to go out there.
No, the game was close.
It was, but in the score, but it was not close. The Packers absolutely dominated.
7 yards. All we needed was 7 more yards.
But I
That's
think
a lot.
But I think if that's the situation, then he needs to go out and play to kind of right the wrong. I mean, but I'm kind of leaning towards fuck it. Yeah, I want him to play because I don't know if they can do what they did to the Colts again last week. Like, you know exactly what they're going to do. The Titans' run defense is a lot more stout. I mean, a lot more stout than the Colts is.
Who isn't, though, right?
Yeah, well, that's a fair question. But it just, like, I don't know if they can go back out there and have Malik Willis complete 10 passes and beat the Titans. Like, I feel, you look at the tape from last week, and it's like, can you replicate that exact same thing and then hope that your defense can force 3 more turnovers? Now, with Will Levis, he's probably going to give you a couple, but just what Love can add to the pass game. Obviously, they're going to still try to pound the rock with Josh Jacobs, but it just, I don't know. I mean, if he feels good and you leave it up to him, I think, let it rip.
Let it rip. What do you think, Pat? You think he's going to play?
No.
No?
No.
I have no idea.
I don't know why you would.
One more week.
They're very conservative. Like, in Green Bay, I know I was in Green Bay for 9 years. There's the trainers, the doctors, they're so conservative, and they are one of the, I know they absolutely will go the opposite way. Instead of pushing you out in the field, they'll hold you longer, and you have to fight with them to try to get on the field. So if he is playing, it means he's definitely healthy and ready to roll.
Yeah, and also it means he's a dog. You look at what Brett Favre did there for so long. Compliment.
Of course.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers played a lot, through a lot, all the time. Iron Man. Jordan, same. It's like, I don't want to say he probably wants to prove that, like, hey, I'm a durable, tough guy as well. And this team, I'm the leader of this team. Just like everything the Packers fans have come to expect at the quarterback position, I'm no different. It's like, I really like, man, and I can't go back to that draft night enough.
Oh, yeah.
About Gutekunst, we do apologize, okay, for how loud we were. We were loud. We were pretty loud.
He took a shot. I mean, he kind of surprised some people.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, Mad Mal lost his mind. Mad Mal lost his mind, had to leave. Left set early. See, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. Mad Mal quit. Mad Mal quit the show because of everything that happened. And now we're looking back on that. It's like he's tough, he's great, he's talented, he's a leader. It's like
Wolverine blood.
This is unbelievable. Wolverine blood, unbelievable. And hey, there's that Pittsburgh situation. We talked about the full padded emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of people coming out saying Justin Fields is that guy. That George Pickens quote about Justin Fields is a big deal, Tone. Legitimately, if the locker room starts talking like that, and this is similar to the Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix thing, they're both in their first year down in Atlanta, so they haven't won over anybody in that locker room through any of the past experiences. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, same exact situation going into Pittsburgh. Like, Russell Wilson obviously been around longer. The boys in the locker room have certainly seen him do more. They've seen the sandwiches. They've seen the let's ride. They've seen him, obviously, with the Legion of Boom whenever he was winning. And Justin Fields, they don't know as much about. But with what he's done through training camp because of the calf strain, and then what he's done here the first few weeks, it feels like the locker room's like, hey, we're riding a hot hand. And then you get Big Ben Roethlisberger also echoing the sentiment as well. It's like, hold the phone now. Hold the phone. Is Justin Fields won over the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room? And is Justin Fields the quarterback for the next 10 years in Pittsburgh? Tone Diggs, is that what you're preparing for at this point?
Well, he's definitely won over the locker room, and it's not even just the first 2 games of the year where they've obviously won, and he's played smart, and he's one of his best things is he throws a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deep ball, which is what George Pickens does best. But they started that in camp, like because of the Russ injury when he first reported and didn't even practice for the first 3 weeks of camp or whatever it was. Like Justin Fields was their quarterback all of camp, so all of these guys got used to Justin Fields and got comfortable with Justin Fields. And then you get into the games, the 2 games where he's been smart and he's made plays. He's made plays with his feet. He's made throws when he's had to. Artie Smith's talking about the dam is about to break on the offense. I think the offense as a whole feels really good, even though it hasn't, points-wise, it hasn't been what they've wanted yet. Obviously, no touchdowns in the first game, six scoring drives, but none of them were touchdowns, and then just 1 touchdown in this last game. I think they feel comfortable, though. I think they're happy. I think they feel good where they're going, and it's with Justin Fields at quarterback. So it would be stupid in my mind to go to Russell Wilson, risk all of that, because then it's going to piss the team off potentially, and then it's going to piss Justin Fields off and all that. So, yeah, as long as Justin Fields keeps winning and keeps playing the way he is, I think you have to stay with him.
Yeah, how Yinzers feel, though? We're pumped. We're excited. We're going Super Bowl now. Are we in the Super Bowl in Pittsburgh?
Yinzers are very, very happy right now. Not as happy as some New Orleans Saints fans, but they are super, super happy. They would love to see a little bit more scoring, but I think they can see it too because we're running the ball, we're playing defense, and that's Pittsburgh Steelers football. So if you do that, the Yinzers are always going to be happy.
Artie Smith said the dam's about to break.
Yeah, it is.
Say, here we
go.
Are you taking a shot at New Orleans fans?
No. You didn't see the news?
No.
No. I said they're not as happy.
The murder.
There hasn't been a murder in 3 weeks in New Orleans.
It's like the longest span in a while.
Because the Saints are winning.
Man, it'd be great if that happened in Indy, bro.
No kidding.
Anywhere. Oh my! You know what? You know my dream catcher lied to me. About the
injury.
About the injuries. Mm-hmm. But I think dream catcher last night told me nobody's gonna murder anybody anymore. Anywhere.
Universe ball, maybe.
Just anywhere. 18 days without a murder.
Awesome.
Crime experts say the longest stint in years. Hey, congratulations to New Orleans. That is an awesome thing. Literally.
Thank you, Derek Carr.
That wasn't like a murder scene, right? That wasn't like a current murder scene, was it?
I think that's probably a stock photo.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, stock photo of, hey, remember, this could be happening, but it's not.
It's a lot of pressure.
I go to a lot of places, when I travel, I watch the local news. It is a must watch. Okay. Now, obviously, if there's a game on, you watch the game. But if there's nothing on, catch at least 30 minutes of the local news and just see what's going on. And then immediately realize, okay, my town, okay. Because they're going to showcase the worst things that have happened in that area for the first 10 minutes, certainly. They're coming out swinging a hot bat and miserable. Just bang, bang, bang. So to hear that about New Orleans, that's awesome. I hope it happens everywhere, and that's what the Dreamcatcher said last night. Everybody's going to stop killing each other.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's a good time. I mean, a lot of pressure on Derek Carr and the Saints now thinking, hey, guys, if you guys don't win, they're going to be killing people all over the place.
Yeah,
so
they're playing for something bigger than themselves. They're playing for something bigger than themselves.
That's right.
We're playing to save all of a whole city, pretty much, it feels like.
Yeah, not just the city. Country.
The
world.
The whole country.
That ain't a big deal to Derek Carr because he plays for his Lord and Savior every Sunday.
You're right. He got fined for grabbing his meat. You know that?
He did.
It was a dance move.
That's a
what do you mean he
travesty.
got fined?
14,000, I think it was.
14K.
Yep.
He does it again, it'll be probably 50K.
Yeah, Florio fined him himself.
What was the grab and what was the thrust? Was it two different?
And I'd
I
like
think
to
it
know
was the grab.
how do they describe
it? Was 7 each. It was 7 each, I think.
I would ask for a
7,000
detailed description
each.
in my fine. I need a detailed description of what I did wrong and then have them type it up.
So you can't be doing the inside of thigh grab with a thrust at the same time. It's probably what they tell.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
If he doesn't thrust there, if he has no hips and he just stands up, maybe they let it slide. But whenever he does the thigh and the thrust, I guess Goodell and company said, we're not going to let this happen every single weekend, are we?
Yeah, they call that the Mike Jack. They won't let that fly. No more Mike Jacks.
Yeah, you two didn't read your players' handbooks. You should have. I looked it up today. There's no grabbing of the cock of the ball and the balls and then thrusting it towards.
That's what it says?
And
yeah.
The exact wording?
Yeah.
That's why I need that typed out in my fine letter, though.
Yeah,
too.
Paul Tagliabue added it in when he was the.
Paul who?
Paul Tagliabue.
Yeah, back in the old
Former
Yeah, he added it during his tenure. So that's.
Sorry, I know him as PT.
Coach knows probably.
Yeah, I mean, Coach is getting his ears set up, but Tone, I don't know if that's exactly in the rule book that graphic language, but I do understand
Clock and
why
balls.
they do that. I think you shouldn't fine him for that one. Gump, thank you for jumping in. You don't need to as Coach gets his ears plugged in. Pat, what's going on over there?
Yeah, Coach has heard all of that, boys. If we could have just a little professionalism whenever the GOAT sits down, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Nick Saban.
Yeah, Coach.
I've always been impressed with the boys with their professionalism.
Well,
Boom!
So Derek Carr was just fined $14,000 for a celebration where Michael Jackson has this move he did where he kicks his leg in the way that Michael Jackson can. He was with those feet, and then he had his arm out, and then he grabs inner thigh, maybe.
Above the inner thigh.
Maybe
right here, Coach.
Full meat
right here.
grab.
This is Derek Carr too. This is not. I don't think Derek Carr has ever done a Michael Jackson celebration. $14,000 fine right there, Coach. $14,000 fine right there. Don't be thinking about doing it on game day tomorrow. I just want to let you know that.
I won't. My pet peeve about celebration has always been define it. Define exactly what you're going to call, what you're not going to call. So you can stand up in front of your team and say, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. So I don't know if anybody ever did that or if he knew he was going to get fined or.
Well, that's what the boys were saying is actually in the player's pamphlet. It's very descriptive is what they were doing. Let's move along. Let's move along here. Coach, we're in beautiful Oklahoma. Have you played here before?
I have.
What's it like? So this is my first time being here. It feels like you're in a football movie as soon as you land in Oklahoma. Then you get in the stadium. Such historic and traditional color, view. And as we're walking through the campus, it's like the stadium is literally circled by the rest of the campus. Real football town, it feels like out here.
No, it is. And it's a beautiful campus, great stadium. When I played here, it was back in the 70s.
Oh, so you haven't been here since then?
Yeah. No, well, I came here to work out players when I was in the NFL, but I'm saying to play a game.
Okay.
And they were running a wishbone, and the crown on the field was so steep, when you were standing on the sidelines, you could only barely see the head of the people on the other sidelines. And they had Thomas Lott playing quarterback. Overstreet was one of the backs, and I was coaching the secondary at West Virginia, your West Virginia team.
Come on.
All right, and so I got Jerry Holmes playing free safety and Cedric King's a strong safety, and we're trying to feather the quarterback on the loaded option. And I say, Cedric, you got to take the pitch from the running lane to the quarterback. And he tells me on the headset, Coach, they got more men's out here than we got.
They're a little bigger, a little stronger, a little faster, and also I can't see over.
Yeah, the wagon was rolling that day. The wagon was rolling.
How do you feel about it tomorrow? So obviously what Coach Heupel's doing is massive. And the Coach Heupel story is a big one leading into this. For Oklahoma's first SEC matchup, they're taking on Oklahoma Sooner legend, who in 2014 leaves here, gets fired from here, and they're saying there's a little extra juice in Heupel's mindset. Does that play into the factor of the game at all, you think, or no?
Well, I'm sure that, I've been in situations where I've been fired before and went back and played in those situations or left and had to go back in those situations. I think to you, maybe personally, there's something there. But the number one thing you want to do for your team is not let that impact your team. You want your team to stay focused on what they need to do to play well in the game and not worry about those kind of external factors in terms of their emotions.
Venables is known for an insane defense. Nico Iamaleava in this you see that? First week I didn't get it.
You
Remember
got
that?
it, good.
Second week I asked for help from Reese.
Yeah.
Now we're week 4. Iamaleava is a dog. It is a much smoother. Do you
And
think,
you're proud of it.
Very much so, Coach. Everybody calls me a journalistic stooge. Is that what it is, boys? Is
Yeah, that is correct.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Dumbass. I
Some
think they
bad
say so.
words too in there that if we're not saying C and B, we shouldn't.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So anytime I do Iamaleava, I feel like journalistic standards very high. I'm proud of it. Do you think this Venables defense against this particular offense, good spot? And what does Oklahoma need to do tomorrow to kind of, I don't want to say win, but, what would be?
Yeah, well, I think Oklahoma has a really good defense. I think, Brent Venables has a very good defensive scheme. But I also think that the style of play that Tennessee has, it takes a little different type of approach. because you're not going to be able to play your normal pace of play because they're going to go fast. You're going to have to make quick decisions. Your players are going to have to get lined up quick, and then they're going to try to slow you down, clap, don't snap the ball, see what you're in, take advantage of what you're in. So now you need to be able to kill some things on defense to change your defense so they don't always know exactly what you're in. You got to be prepared not to be able to put a sub package in on third down because they may go fast on third down. I remember when we played up there a couple years ago, man, we did all this stuff on third down, changing personnel. They never let us sub at all in the game. We went through the whole first half. The only time we tried to sub, we had too many guys on the field. So now you got to play everything in nickel, which is how you play first and second down against them. So they create a lot of issues. But I would assume that Brent has spent a lot of time before this game week trying to prepare for this kind of offense.
Okay, so I have a question about this kind of offense because Holstein and Cade Bell over at the University of Pittsburgh have given them an offense that they haven't had in a long, long time in Pittsburgh. And then you think about Hypo here, and there's other offenses that run like that. How come everybody doesn't run this offense? And is it capable of winning the big one, this style of offense?
Well, I still think you got to play good defense to go with it. You know, I mean, to win the big one, you have to have a complete team. But I do think you can with this style of offense. I think you can score enough points, but you got to have a good defense. But when you play this way, you also put a lot of pressure on your defense because your defense is going to play more plays because you're not shrinking the game at all. I mean, you're going fast. I mean, you may go 8-play drive and only take a minute and a half off the clock. Well, you could go an 8-play drive and running the ball and take 7 minutes off the clock. Yeah. So that's just less time your defense has to play. When we went to the no-huddle fastball stuff, probably 8-10 years ago, our defense played like 12, 14 more plays a game because we were going fast. And even though we were just as good on defense, we didn't have as good as stats. And the other team scored more points because they had more opportunities.
So you're basically just saying that comes with it. When did it start?
That comes with it. You got to accept that.
Was it Chip Kelly?
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly was the one because I was just about to think. You talk about time of possession. The Jets had the ball for 40 minutes last night. Patriots had it for 20 minutes. That's a great indicator of who dominated the game.
Right.
And I've always thought that you have to have that capability to be able to win the big one. Now you can win a lot of games, but whenever it gets close, you're going to have balance. You're going to have to be able to run the ball. You're going to have to be able to slow everything down because the other side could potentially catch fire. Chip Kelly was the one that really brought this entire initiative into college ball.
Yeah.
And do you see it transitioning now? NFL, it's transitioning, I think. Boys, am I accurately describing that? The NFL is starting to get back to like a...
Feels like it right now.
Ground the rock.
Right.
Right now, it feels like that. Do you think that happens with college? Or
I think it is happening in college, and I'll tell you why. I think that we all got like smaller, faster, more athletic to play against the spread.
Yep.
Like we had Orlando McLean and Hightower, 6'4", 245 inside back.
Smashing
dogs.
All right,
Everybody.
smash mouth. You try to run the ball, Pepper Johnson, you try to run the ball, he's flat-heading you. All right, so, but these guys couldn't play in space like some 6'2", 230-pound guy who could run 4'6". And so we all got accustomed to playing the spread and had to change the kind of personnel that we played with. So now when you go back and getting 2 tights and 2 wides, 12 personnel, whatever you want to call it, and start smashing the ball, these guys aren't good at that. They can't take on the guards. All right, so now you're creating seams in the defense and block protection issues for smaller players. So I do see that. And I thought Georgia a few years ago, like when they beat us in the national championship game in Indy, we were ahead 18-13 with 10 minutes to go in the game. They got in high yucca wad ball and just ran the ball down our throat, and we couldn't stop them, and they scored twice in the last 10 minutes. So
wide ball?
Wad ball.
Wide,
yeah,
wide.
Everybody's in here tight, but they're big folks pushing little folks around.
Wide. Yeah. We're fucking with you, right?
That's high ball, baby.
But that is high ball. The whenever this whole spread offense started taking over, we as football stooges, our show, was live, and they were changing rules to make it happen. We're like, oh, this is what football is going to be forever. And all the old football heads said football is cyclical, has been since the beginning of time. That's an accurate sentiment. I think we're kind of watching it unfold right now. Definitely in the NFL. I don't know about college, but it is like a very cyclical sport, is it not?
No, it is. I see more people getting in closed formation.
Wide.
and running the ball and doing it more effectively because people have changed their style of play on defense to play against spread out teams, which is a little bit different.
And then inevitably, everybody's going to adjust to this, and then somebody's going to come along, maybe a Dutch Danger, and say, I got this speed offense now we're going to run, and then it's going to transition back. I think that's kind of what football is. We're in a great spot. AJ has a question for you, Coach.
Coach, I know playing football is a very emotional game. You want your players to have emotion and fire, but what about your coaching staff? I always wondered about that, especially the offensive play caller. Can he let emotion creep in at all when he's calling a game?
You know, I've always questioned this whole emotion thing. You know, you want your players to play with emotion, but you don't want them to be emotional. And, you know, that's kind of a fine line because the emotion allows you to maintain the kind of intensity and focus you need to be able to execute and do your job. And I think you have to have some coaches on your staff that are these energetic type guys that are going to maintain that level of intensity or emotion on the team. But then you also have to have a couple guys that are a little more cerebral in their approach, that are really kind of thinking ahead and making sure they're playing the right things in the right situations so you can take advantage of, you know, maybe the defense and what they're playing or the situation in the game, whether it's red zone, third down, 4-minute, 2-minute, whatever it might be. So I think you need a combination of both. I never wanted a coaching staff that had all the same kind of personalities. I wanted different kind of personalities that could impact and affect different types of people.
How about whenever you would throw your headsets? Those were awesome days.
Yeah.
Didn't we? We love those.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime
Hey,
awesome.
Muschamp, you kidding me?
You open that thing. This one right here is one of my favorites too. When you grabbed it, and, you know that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, but it was an issue when you're raising your children, and you were telling them. You know, one time my son Nicholas got a technical foul in a basketball game, and I had to be there. So I go home and I give him this long speech about maintaining your poise. And he sat there and listened like a trooper for like 10 minutes. And this was my best speech ever about maintaining poise.
You nailed it.
And he looked at me and said, "And how many headsets did you bust this year?"
And then walk away.
Yeah. So I mean, it was not something that was good for parenting.
Yeah, easier said than done, but that emotion is literally what people want to see because it means that you care. Tone Diggs has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I want to talk about the game that you're at, Tennessee and Oklahoma, and it's Nico's first big game on the road in front of a large crowd. In a situation like that, do you talk to the quarterback in that situation, just like you're talking about with emotion and emotional, to kind of see if he's in the right place, or how do you handle that situation for a young quarterback?
Well, I think the most important thing with the young quarterback is make sure you've put him in a situation in practice where he's had to deal with the noise, explain to him exactly what he's getting into, and if he makes a few mistakes early in the game, don't let it affect you because you don't want it to affect him. And I think that these teams that go fast, I think they're not really counting on the cadence, that much early on. So I do think it's a little easier for a quarterback to transition to noise when you're trying to do fastball. So maybe that's what they have Nico prepared for in this game.
He can spin it. Heupel feels like he's got them all rolling in the right direction, but I think this place is going to be a difference maker. I do. It's vast, Feels like it goes out a little bit more like this. Right. I heard there were some SEC people talking shit, though, about like, where's the rest of your stadium? That's what they're saying. That's what people on the internet. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying people have said that.
After A&M looking at it, I mean, you can see why they think that.
And then how about Alabama? I assume Alabama at one point didn't have that one end that just seemingly got built, and it's just like a wall of.
Yeah, we built that in like 2008 or 9 to go to over 100,000. Yeah.
So many people over 100,000. But it's like, how many people are here, Tone? Do we know what?
I think it was like 85. I think when I looked it up yesterday.
That's so many people. They have a chance to add another 50,000 if they want. Seemingly, that entire end over there, if they were to build up around it. Place is beautiful. Loves ball. I think it's going to be hot here tomorrow.
Yeah, but this is a nice stadium. I mean, it's a nice stadium. It's a tough place to play. So I'm sure it'll be challenging for Tennessee, especially Nico and the quarterback on offense, not to have a bunch of penalties and put themselves behind the 8 ball. The most important thing on offense, especially when you go fast, is you don't get in negative yardage situations. The other team doesn't give you negative yardage situations because then it's not an advantage for you to go fast. You need to sit back and say, okay, now what do we want to do on 2nd and 15 instead of 2nd and 5? 2nd and 5, it's easy to go fast. 2nd and 15, we need to get half of this back, so we got a manageable 3rd down. So, that's the thing that I think Oklahoma will do in this game, talking about this game, is they have a really good defense. They're very athletic. They can run on defense, and they have a good system and scheme to create negative plays for the offense, if they can implement that against this fastball, that's going to be a real positive for them.
First play of the drive, so vital for the people that are running a fast offense on that side. Let's go back to the environment, what Nico's going to have to handle. Is there any stadiums, what stadium comes to mind whenever you have thought to yourself, wow, this is a wild environment right now? And did you ever do that while you were coaching games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Looked around. What the hell?
I mean, we're at LSU and we go right down the field when Tua's playing, and we get down on the 20-yard line where the student section is. We got 4 straight false starts, and I'm like, and the players are all going, shaking their heads like, I can't hear. So forces you to go on silent, which is a huge disadvantage because, the defensive line can watch the ball. The offensive line has to watch the ball, so you have no advantage in cadence. And you're sitting there saying, hey, this is tough. I mean, when we played at Tennessee a couple years ago and got beat up there, that was about as wild a situation as you're ever going to get in. But the only place you play in the SEC that's not hard to play is Vanderbilt. Because when you play at Vanderbilt, you have more fans there than they have. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just the truth.
Hey,
when we played in Nashville, we had more fans, Alabama fans, than what they had Vanderbilt fans.
Yeah, Nashville's a great city to go visit, too. It's like the Vegas of the Midwest. So if there's an away game, it's certainly a good place to kind of go take a weekend trip to. We'll go watch Alabama do their thing to a football team. We'll get great seats because there's going to be a lot available. And then we'll do Nashville, too. What a win. I didn't even think about that. Vandy's working against a couple different things there. One of them is interest in their football team. But it's coming back.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but all these academic schools, if they make a decision to create an academic circumstance where you let players in and they have a chance to succeed academically, you can elevate the program. Stanford did it for a while. Georgia Tech's doing it right now. So Vandy can do it.
West Virginia did it for a while.
I can't even comment on that.
Whoa. High academia. High academia. West Virginia. That's kind of been, a part of a conversation about me asking, hey, why isn't West Virginia in the Big Ten? People immediately go, academics a little bit different. Academics a little bit different. Then why isn't the West Virginia in the SEC? Academics a little bit different. Why isn't West Virginia in the ACC? Academics. That's a little bit different. I will have you know, we got Rhodes Scholars at West Virginia now. That is what I'm being told. West Virginia's academia skyrocketed over the last 6 months because of the way you've been talking about them. Now the football team needs a win. We need that to happen.
Yeah, we need that to happen.
They will.
And I've picked them every week. I'm a little, upset with the way they lost the game last week.
Me too.
Up by 10 with 5 minutes to go in the game?
I think even lower than that, 4 or 3 minutes. Yeah. What's that face, Coach? We got Big 12. Still, we got to go get to Big 12.
It's all out in
so
front
you
of
still you haven't lost hope. I'm happy to see that.
Well, I'm happy.
You're like all the other fans. They haven't lost hope.
All right. Okay.
Should
There's
he have
a lot of
lost
people
hope?
that have lost hope.
Should he lose?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have.
Should.
Yeah, it's getting loud over there. Seat's getting a little hot. I think Neil can feel that. Connor has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach. Good to see you made it from the airport. I heard a certain someone left you there, even though he could have easily given you a ride. But looking around college football,
it was no surprise.
I mean, look, the guy that was driving that car is a piece of shit, Coach. Just so you know, just so we're on the same page.
He's right. He's not lying, Coach.
I'll tell you that right now. And he's not a hard worker, too. But looking around college football, self-admitted, not from me, from his mouth. Looking around college football, there's one storyline that's kind of everyone's talking about, and that's the situation in Texas with Arch and Quinn Ewers. What do you think about all that? And then do you also kind of believe in the whole, you can't lose your job to an injury, or do you think this is a situation that if Arch Manning does what Mannings do and play quarterback very well going forward, that they might have a little controversy down there?
No, I think what Sark did in the press conference yesterday sort of sent the message loud and clear that, we have a championship caliber team and have an opportunity to maybe do something special with this team. And, Quinn Ewers is a quarterback. And I think that's probably the way it should be. Arch is a very talented guy. He played great in the spring game. He played really well when he had to come in the game last week. And I think that's the key to it because, Quinn Ewers has a history of, missing a few games, in the last couple years. So to have an adequate backup that can go in there and take advantage of the weapons that you have on offense is really, really important. But if you sat around and asked the players on the team, like I always had a leadership group, and I'd say, hey, guys, who do you think the quarterback should be? They all know who the quarterback should be. And right now, Quinn Ewers has been the guy that has the leadership, probably has the locker room. And Arch is going to be a fantastic player, and he'll play great this year when he has to play. But he probably thinks he should be the backup, needs the time to develop. And, Quinn Ewers will do great for him, and Arch will be ready if they need him.
According to sources inside the Manning operation, I have heard that the Mannings agree completely with what you're saying. It's like, can't lose job to injury is an old school mindset that the Manning family has, but also this is what he signed up for. This is what he wanted to do. He wanted to get into a program, wanted to back up, wanted to learn, wanted to live as a college kid, wanted to develop, wanted everything like that. These are valuable reps for him for sure, but they understand completely, and Arch and Quinn very tight. So it's like a good tag team.
Well, and you can see in the NFL, some of the guys that are forced to play before they're ready, high draft pick, first round draft picks, if they're not on a good team, they struggle early on. They lose their confidence, and that affects their ability to perform. Where you have other guys, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Jordan Love now at Green Bay, that didn't have to play when they first came in. They had a chance to, spend a couple years developing. That's really advantageous at the quarterback position, and I think what Arch is doing right now is really advantageous to his development. There's just a lot of people now that forget about the word development, like it means nothing, like it's not necessary, like I'm going to come right out of high school and set it on fire in the SEC, or I'm going to come right out of college and set it on fire in the NFL. And not very many times would that happen. And even Peyton, had a tough year his rookie year, but he had the mental toughness to persevere it, overcome it, learn from it, and become a really good player. But not everybody can do that. So this opportunity to grow and develop, I think, is really important for young players.
What you just said there, I think, would apply very well to the Bryce Young situation. Obviously, you know Bryce very well. This is 2 weeks in a row now where the big story at quarterback are your guys. Tua last week, and obviously he ends up on IR. Now with Bryce Young in Carolina, I think a lot of people are... This is the most kind reaction, I think, to a benching of a first overall pick this early into his career, because I think a lot of people have seen what has happened around Carolina, around him. Have you talked to him? What are your thoughts on the entire situation, and what do you see in the future for Bryce Young?
Well, you guys have heard me say before, quarterback is a really hard position to play if the people around you don't play well. Now, I think sometimes the quarterback gets too much credit. I also think sometimes when things don't go well, the quarterback gets too much blame. So do they have the kind of players around Bryce Young that even gives him a chance to be successful? And but that's one of the bad things about being the first guy picked in a draft. You may go to a team that doesn't have all the pieces
definitely
that you
probably
need.
Going to a team.
And I think the Bears this year, that's not really the case. They have some pieces there, but Carolina did not, and they have to build this thing from the ground up. And I hate to see Bryce get benched, but I also don't see a lot of opportunity for him to be successful based on the skill players they have around him, the offensive line they have around him. And I think he's the type of player that can really operate well when he has good players around him.
So do you think he'll utilize this time here for good? You know him a lot better than we do.
Yeah, I do. I think he's going to be positive about trying to learn and grow from this situation. He's always been a guy that sort of improved from his failings, so hopefully, this will be an opportunity for him to do it again.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. You and I about to go swing a bat, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to...
You taking BP?
I'm going to do a scouting report on you swinging a bat. I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to.
Are you excited for my scouting report on your swing of the bat? Are you swinging the bat? I'm going to give a scouting report, too. I got scouting in my background.
Yeah, I got you. But I'm old, man. I'm old. You got to give me,
Are you swinging the bat or no?
Yeah, I will swing it.
I
But
heard we got no chance on this shit. Have you heard the same thing?
if they're throwing it hard and they're throwing that rise ball, there's no way I can hit it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm being told that we have no shot. I didn't play baseball growing up. I did play semi-professionally.
Exit velocity. You got it.
333 on base percentage. No big deal. But I've heard that this is much harder than anything I've ever did. The ball is going to look like it's coming so fast. It's an intimidation factor. And then whenever you figure it out, then there's a movement factor.
Yeah, but if they throw it 65, 70, which the good pitchers are capable of doing in softball, that's the equivalent of like a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in the big leagues because the distance it's coming is shorter. So if they're doing that, man, I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys just choke up on the bat and get back in the box, and you guys will be fine. Just make
so
contact.
we got
Pete Rose.
Marissa here is the stat weapon for College Game Day. She played college softball at Colgate, and she was giving me some tips, and she's like, back of the box. You get to the back of the box as far as you can. Then Stanford Steve was like, you need a wide base. You need a wide base when you're in there, and then just throw the hands, baby. Throw the hands at this thing. I'm like, I'm not going to see the ball, but I know we're going to have a great time. Can't wait to see you on Game Day tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Nick, you're the absolute best, brother.
All right, thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Saban.
Coach is awesome. We're coming up to a hard out. I know he and Pat are winding down. Boys, you excited for the weekend?
Except for these games.
What do you think?
Huge weekend of college football tomorrow. Obviously, we have some college games tonight, and then Sunday, a full slate of college football.
Rules,
NFL
boys.
football, I mean.
Yeah, there you go. Matt Rules boys under the lights tonight.
Ooh,
Come
they
on.
are. Matt Rules
Ranked
boys.
on ranked.
Pat and I will do our picks and everything on the other side. Where can they see this stuff, Tone?
What's
the
that?
rest of the show?
YouTube, brother.
Where else?
YouTube, ESPN
TikTok
Plus,
Live.
TikTok Live,
Okay.
everything.
Yeah, don't be so condescending with
Well, I
your
don't like
answers,
saying-
guys.
I don't
hey,
like saying
Pat
the
will be
one.
back here Monday. We'll see you then.
Who does
Close.
that? Who does that?
What?
What you just did.
What did I do?
Who the fuck does that?
Okay.
Where can you find it?
There's
Tony?
Pat, come on back in, Pat.
seconds
Nick, I
left.
appreciate you, brother.
Tell him, Tony.
Pat, if you guys pay attention
What just
to
happened?
the program, we just
Hawk,
got out of here.
man.
What do you mean we hit the hard out? No, I asked Tone, where can people find the program when it leaves ESPN? Because that's something you have
4
talked about
seconds
this
before
week.
the hard out.
Yeah, at 49.
Yeah. I wanted you to say YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok Live.
And I said YouTube.
Yeah, but we have that lower third that says it. Don't worry about it. Everything's covered. Matt Garrett, remember?
Well, verbal
red.
and visual confirmation, like we were talking about earlier with the defense and the offense.
Cans.
Cans.
Hey, is there any way we could go to the bathroom?
Please, thank you. I'm so happy
Okay,
we're on the
all
same
right,
page.
sweet.
All right, so we'll take about 3 or 4 or 5. We'll be back. All right, Pat.
Take
3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7. If you're the NCAA and you're sitting in that stupid office in Indianapolis where we happen to live, it's a great city. It's a great town. And there's a dumb institution that is ruling over college football. Because if you don't want these people dancing, celebration, bitches.
What's up?
Is that the president's name?
Oh, that's Kurt Signatic.
Do we like the NCAA? Do we like Pat? Do we love the Dukes? I wish when I was asked, like, why did you punt? I could say my subcommittee recommended I punt. Talk your shit. This guy's hot. This guy's hot.
We'll see you in the next hour. I say today, we take a stand against the NCAA.
啊
Let them bull.
啊
Let them bull. 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 Let them bu Rest in peace, Dale. Moment of silence for Dale Earnhardt. Moment has passed. Thank you, Dale. This one's for 3. AJ Hawk, $5,000. This has been one of the coolest moments of my entire professional life. JMU! Thank you so much for the hospitality. JMU! You understand quickly that there's idiots making decisions in every single place that you would never guess idiots would be making decisions. You don't think bowl season deserves to have this situation cooking behind it? College football's better because JMU's football is crushing. College is better because what their football team is doing. The community is better. And the NCAA, yet again, adds to their long list of decisions. Look at that scene, bro, in the hills of Virginia. You know what? To hell with all of them. James Madison, right here. Right here. That chef looks damn good. I'd eat that guy's meat any day of the week. If you're able to bury this 33-yard field goal, kicking is easy is what you have said to kickers before. Others have on the internet. Now, 90 racks on the line. We believe. Oh! Kill the kid! Kill the kid! Our worst kid yet! 100 racks of charity. This dog stinks! And that's that the JMU are going to crush App State. They would crush anybody this weekend, especially in this city with how dumb the NCAA is. Let them bowl and let the boys dominate today.
In my Constitution, I have the First Amendment right to free speech. Pat has the Second Amendment right to take its sleeves off and show the bare arms all the time. But I'm saying, if we are so lucky to go undefeated this year, and we end up winning in a bowl game, if we get in, I'm going to use my First Amendment to declare the JMU Dukes national champions. Like UCF. I'm just going to say it, and come and stop me. Time to coach.
I'm jacked. I love it's working. All of it's working.
They'll have one loss because App State is beating JMU Mountaineers, baby. They're gonna dog shit all over this dumb place. App State forever. Yeah, fuck you too. How about that?
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Let's find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. It's just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
For you, did you know you would be good in front office? Did you know that this was going to be something you would succeed at?
I didn't know I'd be good at it. I didn't even know I'd be doing it. It's an interesting story as to how I ended up here. I ask myself that often. Way back when I was a kid, I did love like the NFL draft. My dad used to pull me out of school. Out of half day, he'd come pick me up at lunch. We'd go watch the draft. So I loved that. Throughout my career, I'd pissed my wife off by not only watching round 1 through 3, but then watching round 7. And I'm filling out sheets. And I think the thing that probably piqued my interest, I was living in Denver after I got done playing there, had become friendly with Elway. We played some golf together, and he looked out for me. We had the same high school coach. We went to Stanford, played football, baseball, same fraternity. That was like the poster on my wall. But Elway took the leap at the Broncos, and in his first year, he said, Johnny, you know, I'm keeping a lot of the scouts, but I don't know them. I love the way you think about football. Could you watch the safeties this year and write some reports? And so I did that for him. Remember, it was the year of like Mark Barron and Harrison Smith, and I took a lot of pride in. I had no idea how scouts did things, but I just watched it like I would watch film, and I sat there at the computer and wrote some reports, and Elway was blown away with like the detail. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. The next year, he says, that was awesome, Johnny. Why don't you do the DBs? So I did the entire DBs. I added the corners. The next year, he invites me in for their draft process. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of time. I went to Indy. I went to the combine with the Broncos that year. So that started piquing my interest. Long after that, there was a guy who ended up bidding for the Carolina Panthers, and he didn't get the team. Tepper got it. But there was another gentleman by the name of Ben Navarro, and I worked with his brother at Fox. And he one time asked if he could meet with me, and out of the blue asked me if I would run his team if he got the Panthers. And I said, really? Are you serious? And he asked me to kind of put together a vision statement for how I would run a team. And so I spent a couple weeks doing that. I met with him. And from that point forward, I kind of just said, if the right scenario ever came about, this might be something I want to do. I was missing like competition. I was missing scoreboard. I was missing the wins, the losses, all of that. Out of nowhere, something was keeping me up at night one year. I didn't even know what it was. And my wife said, something's on your mind. I know you when you're acting like this, you can't sleep. And I had done a bunch of Falcon games that year, and Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. It's the year they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and I heard something like Kyle Shanahan's going to get this Niners job, and that's the one he wants. But somebody said he's struggling to find a GM he wants to work with, and so something was on my mind. I had done a bunch of Kyle's games that year, and I gave him a cold call, and I just said, hey, dude, I want to thank you for all the time you've given me all year in these production meetings. I heard something that you're struggling to find a GM, and he goes, I am, man, it's killing me. I think I am going to take that Niners job. And he goes, why are you asking? And I said, well, consider me. I don't even know if I do it, but just think about that and see what you think. And his first question, he's like, dude, why would you do that? You got a great job. You got a great life. Like, why would you even consider doing that? I said, you go play your games. He did. He called back and he said, man, I can't stop thinking about what you said to me. Would you do that? And I want you to come meet this dude named Jed. Well, that dude named Jed was our owner here, Jed York. Came and met Jed. We flew cross country to Atlanta. I was offered the job on that flight. We meet with Kyle and the whole thing's wrapped up. I hadn't even talked to my wife or family yet. It all moved kind of fast, and here we are 8 years later. So sorry for the long story.
No.
No.
I'm hoping we get 3 or 4 more of those. That was phenomenal. Hey, thank you for blessing us with that information. And also, shout out to you being somebody taking initiative and being like, you know what? Yeah, this is something I want. And diving right in and being prepared and knowing that you're.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Welcome back to Hour 3 of the Pat McAfee Show. Boys, it's been a good one so far. Pat's in Norman, Oklahoma. I'm sitting in for Pat at the desk here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Football!
Nailed it.
It's on everybody's mind. Football is. Pat is down there in Norman. Pat, how's it going? We saw you during the break. You get to interact with some of those student college athletes. How's it going down there?
Nah, I don't think it was the student human athletes here. I believe this is the sports business crew. It is their job to put pom-poms on every single seat in the stadium.
That's a lot of
80,000+. So that's who I was just chatting with there. And good group. I'll tell you what, they got good energy. I will say they and I alike have started to feel this Oklahoma heat. It is starting to heat up a little bit down here. Yeah. And if I step 3 feet out this way, it is much hotter. We're under the concourse here, so shout out to the entire team that made this entire thing happen. Behind the scenes, very good people. They saved my life. If I was out there, especially with this thick old cowboy hat on, now it is beautiful. This thing is made in the USA. And obviously it is a Seeger, so this thing will last you a lifetime if you treat it right. It's a thick one, so I think it's cooking me from both ways here. I think my heat's going into cowboy hat, and I think heat from outside hitting cowboy hat. So I think it's acting like a broiler almost for the top of my head. I am sweating my ass off. There's a nice glisten, but I'll tell you what, it's a hot weekend here in Norman because it's the first SEC game for the Oklahoma Sooner football team as they take on Tennessee. And AJ, I want to let you know, right before we came back live here, greatness pass right in front of this camera. Okay? Greatness pass right over here. So she get a headset on so she can hear everything that we're saying right now. We're being joined live, and we will move these chairs back in here.
Nice.
Good work. Hey, good work. Good work.
Good work.
Then we need a microphone as well. We need a microphone as well. Pit stop.
Nice.
Boom. Great work right there.
Fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, 8-time national champion, currently on a run of 4 straight. The greatest of all time, people say. Listen, I don't know enough about softball to be declaring that about anybody. Head coach of the Oklahoma women's softball team, Coach Patty Gasso.
Yeah.
Can you hear them?
I can hear them.
You can hear them? Okay, sweet. Let me know whatever the chair is in, if it's in the right spot or not.
We're good.
I'm seeing what's going on right down here, Coach. We punched somebody in the face because they said Oklahoma's not the best softball team.
They deserved it.
Yeah, they absolutely did. I'll move this closer to you so the wind doesn't take it. Coach Patty, I want to let you know, thank you for stopping over here.
Why couldn't we get you indoors?
Well, because we like to showcase the,
I got it.
You know what I mean?
Or I thought you were showcasing.
You're saying I'm jacked?
I didn't say that.
I'm going to find out if
we'll find out.
If a little bit later, if I'm athletic enough.
Yeah.
Let's dive into all that you've accomplished here. And I don't think enough people understand what's going on here. There's a dynasty happening in women's softball right in front of our eyes. You've been here for 30 years, I believe.
Yeah.
And now we have 8 titles. It's the most in this century. In your most recent one here, I would like to hear a little story about Kelly Maxwell. Okay?
Oh, gosh.
Because what I heard is out of the transfer portal from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a dog in the transfer portal, I've heard. Absolute dog
Thank you.
in the transfer portal. You bring Kelly Maxwell in. She's your ace. She basically wins it for you.
Yeah.
Another celebration.
Yeah.
Is that what every year is like? You find you have a great ace, you have a great player, transfer portal. What is the building of the softball team look like? And Kelly Maxwell's story, how abnormal is that?
Well, I'll start with that. Quite abnormal, very uncomfortable for her, kind of uncomfortable for me. Oklahoma fans run both sides, so there's a lot of back and forth on social media, I imagine. But when she got to us, we just needed her to kind of start over and clear all this out. We had a good relationship. She had a good relationship with our pitching coach. And what she needed was confidence. And she was at her best when she went into postseason, and she was an absolute boss. But you also have to have some big-time hitters and clutch plays and all of that. And we had fantastic defense and everything around it. But it was a thing of beauty. It was art at its best.
Okay, so we watch the World Series every year, and it's electrifying. And every year we all talk about we need to watch more women's college softball because of how electrifying it is.
Yep.
I assume everywhere, we do it. We don't do it, though. I want to let you know, Patty. Like, journalistic standards here, I'm going to tell the truth. We need to pay attention more. But you guys are the wagon, the best of all time. Is every game like the College World Series with the energy and the buzz, and we're missing out on it?
Yeah, you need to tune in. We have a big fan base. Oklahoma fans are fantastic, but they're coming from all around the country. So we go into other venues, and the Boomer Sooner chants going on, and I'm kind of embarrassed because this isn't our home place. But fans follow us, and the players are so athletic, and it's fast moving, and they're passionate, and it's been a fun ride.
The sport's on the rise, I do believe.
It is. A lot of people watching, sellouts every weekend.
So why are you on such a dominant run right now? Is it your strategy, your players, your coach? What is it?
It's not me.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is you, but I'm just saying, what do you think that is different than other places?
I'm still old school. I know Coach Saban's up here, and it kind of, I follow him and what he does. I'm still that old school, hard work, grind, outwork others. Everybody looks at us like, oh, they're cheating, they're this, they're that. We're out working. We're out hustling. That's what we do on the recruiting trail. That's what we do at practice. We out hustle, and we love to play. We love to win. We love to do it together. So I don't know. I've been doing it so long because I'm having a blast.
Coach, it's hot as shit here.
Why? You can cuss on your program.
Well, people aren't happy about it.
My son said, be aware. He's going to take his shirt off.
No. That's Saturday.
Tomorrow.
Saturday.
That's a Saturday move.
Dang, I came the wrong day.
Coach, that is a Saturday move, and we are trying to not be as fat for future Saturdays this season.
No.
I will have you know. But yeah, you're allowed to let it loose, Coach. Let it loose. AJ Hawk back in the studio, has a question for you.
Yeah.
I do, Coach. So you talk about, Coach Saban is there, and Coach Saban has told us relief syndrome happens sometimes to teams that win a lot and they have success. And I know handling success is usually very difficult for a coach. How do you do that? How are you able to stay on that grind with your team for all the success? You've won over 1,500 games. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Do you know that? Have you seen your stats? They printed off. Put that graphic up.
Yes.
Put that graphic up. Look at all. Did you know you have this on? You should in the office, maybe just a nice little reminder for everybody. You've won so much that's a great question from AJ. Any sport, how do you continue to do it? Because it's almost harder when you get to the top of the mountain, is it not?
Yeah, it is. But the team that I've had is just—they're never satisfied, and they want to do something that no one believes they can do. So when they said, "Hey, repeat," I'm like, "Oh, okay, it's not that easy." Three-peat, and when they said four-peat, hey, go out and four-peat, I'm like, you gotta be crazy. But the more people thought we couldn't do it, we live in our own little bubble, right? We believe what we can do, and we don't let a lot of the outside noise come in. We just really stay in tune with what we're doing and trust each other, and we want to do things that no one has ever seen, and that's what they were doing.
That's culture, Coach. That's like the term culture. How would you describe your culture? Hardworking, obviously.
Yeah, connected, cohesive, team chemistry is fantastic. Belief in each other, respect for each other. I mean, I think as a woman, I know how women can be. You don't need to make a comment.
I'm not.
Make a comment right
believe
there.
me.
Don't do that.
There was no chance.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
As a woman, I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention to what's happening in the locker room. I'm listening. I'm hearing others. Like, you got to have a mole in your program that comes to you and says, hey, somebody is really bringing up a lot of negative. And so I protect. It's a witness protection plan. You tell me what's going on, I got you. And that will allow me to go fix it. So we really tried to make sure we're all respectful and inclusive and all of those good things.
Tell me about women's softball, the fast pitch softball. I guess that's the only softball that there is. Is there collegiate
slow pitch?
Is there collegiate slow pitch?
No.
Okay, so collegiate's only fast pitch. How many people are playing? I have a daughter. She's 16 months. And I'm going to be honest, the way she throws things now and hits things, she might be able to hang. And I think she's a lefty, which I heard lefty is a goodness. She's more active with her left side. Whenever she eats things, left hand, much dirtier than right hand. Yeah. So I'm starting to think she's a little bit of a lefty.
Stay in that space.
Yeah.
She'll make you a lot of money.
Okay, for women's.
Yeah.
But is there a lot of, I assume this is a very, 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 women's basketball right now is going through the moon.
Yes.
Women's fast pitch softball. Is it everywhere in the States?
I think so. Yeah. There's so many young people that play it, and they invest a lot of money in their kids trying to get to that next level. So there's a lot of hype, a lot of eyes on the game, a lot of television viewers, but it's just it's at its best right now.
You going to the SEC, good for program, good for softball? What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't know how they feel. I didn't put us in the SEC. We're here. I'm excited. That's what makes us different. We love competition. We never back down. We love competition. If you beat us once, okay, but we know you won't beat us twice. That's been our attitude for quite a long time.
Bunch of dogs on this women's softball team. 4 straight national championships. Could you imagine the mental toughness? Tone Diggs has a question for you back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Coach, we always talk about the new generation of kids and how they are different from the older generations. Now that you've been there at Oklahoma and been so successful for a good amount of time, do you feel it as well too, the different generations, and do you have to treat them any differently?
Absolutely. And my team has taught me the last few years very much about mental health and wellness, and it's a real thing. And the stress is real. The expectations are high. So I pay close attention and make sure, like in our new stadium, we have a recovery room that has massage chairs, and I really want to take care of these guys, and I don't want their life to be softball. I want them to be known for more than just being a national champion, and that's important to them. So I've learned a lot about that. I've learned a lot about some days off when they need it. I knew you were laughing. Coach Saban would probably hit me upside the head if I said that right now.
No, that's a modern coach. That's because the more information we have. Like 30 years ago, whenever you started doing this, it's the same thing for football, so I'll just assume it's the same thing in your world. Now with all the stats and analytics, and they're like, this is exactly how many miles this guy has run this week.
Yep.
Other people that have done this in the past have torn their hamstring, pulled their hamstring.
Right.
So everything is kind of going back with analytics. Do you guys use a lot of stats?
Absolutely. And you either embrace it or you're left behind. And my son and my pitching coach, Jen Rocha, have done, my son is my hitting coach. So he has done a lot of research. She has done a lot of research, and we go by it now. I mean, that's what I think is kind of sometimes I feel like we could be playing chess when others might be playing checkers.
Oh, this is Oklahoma's playing a different game.
Look, okay.
No, you're cheating. I heard you say that earlier in an answer.
Yeah.
I didn't know people were saying you were cheating. You let me know that through your answer earlier when you're like, everybody says you're cheating when you're working harder than everybody.
Yes, we are.
Seemingly is a trend in this entire thing.
Yep.
Ty Schmidt, massive baseball fan. I don't know softball. Maybe deep. I don't know. Has a question for you.
Oh, yeah, big-time softball fan as well. Coach, obviously the baseball and softball seasons are such a grind. And with you guys having won 4 national championships in a row, obviously you're getting everyone's best shot every single time you guys take the field. And I understand, like, the, competitive juice and all that kind of stuff. But how difficult is it going through some of those early season games when, in reality, like, you guys' season, it's kind of like the old Patriots teams. Like, your season doesn't really start until the regionals or the super regionals because you know you're going to be there. Like, how do you maintain that competitive edge in those, like, early season games when, at the end of the day, like, national championship is what we're here for?
Yeah, that's a great question because I could tell you that our team last year, they're all returners. They've all been there. They would like to probably show up in January and say, let's do a month of workout and let's get ready to go. I mean, they don't need a lot. So sometimes games are not a big high regard to them, but they play well enough to get through them, which really is uncomfortable as a coach. But I have to keep finding strategic ways to push them, give them challenges, try to hit some goals out there. It's tough.
It would be so hard not to think you're the greatest on earth. 4 straight national championships. It'd be hard not to be like, everything we do. Yeah, everything we do is better than what everybody else does. And obviously that is not the case. And in this century, you have double the amount of national titles than everybody else. So relief syndrome is what Coach Saban talks about. Feels like it could run rampant. Great coaching keeps it out of your culture. Connor has the last question for you from the house.
Yeah, Coach, Pat sent us a photo of the statue outside the stadium of you. And is that one of those things that's almost weird for you seeing that every day? And do you bring recruits there and just say, like, hey, look at this shit. I'm this good. They already built a statue of me, and I'm still here.
It just happened, and I don't know. For a female, it's hard. Like, you care so much about the way it looks, and is that a good depiction of me? And could they have made me thinner, or could they have made me look stronger? Or things
Coach, you look strong. You look amazing. It's a statue.
Great statue.
You look amazing, Coach. Yeah, got to spell the name right, too, across the bottom. That's good news.
That's good.
They need all your stats around it. They need the national championships and stuff around it.
They should put that graphic that we have up there. Just put that as a plate right above it.
Boom.
Look at just put that up there. I mean, and I read this as a stat, obviously. First female statue on campus. I assume this is for you, not something you could have dreamed of, but like then whenever it kind of gets presented, you think of how awesome it all is.
It's surreal. It's just, the time has gone by so fast. You talk about me being here for 30 years and it doesn't feel. It feels like maybe I'm on my 5th year. It's because I love what I'm doing and these guys keep me young. But I would never imagine, and it's Joe Castiglione went forward and didn't ask me. He announced it on his own.
Yeah, Joe Castiglione.
And so I wasn't quite ready. That's not. I'm very humble and kind of embarrassed by it, but it's a big, big, huge honor. I respect the fact that he did that, and our president, Joe Harris, as well. So when are we going to talk football?
You tell me. How do you feel about the team? You like Coach Venables? You like his culture?
Take him to war with me. I'll take him. Yes, love him. Love his energy, love his passion, love how he loves his players.
Okay, so we feel good about this weekend?
I feel good. I know a little bit about football. My husband and I, when we were dating, he was breaking down film back in the day, 38 years ago. So I was watching the split backs, all that stuff. But to me, we have to keep our defense off the field so they can be rested and ready to win the game. Our offense, sustain some runs, score 20 points. But if you keep our defense fresh, we're going to win.
Best offense is good defense, you know. You
Yes.
keep that defense off the field and rested.
Defense wins championships, yeah.
Do you feel that way about softball, too?
I do, 100%.
Gotta have some good
Yes.
gloves. Gotta have some good gloves.
No, we rob home runs. Jada Coleman can do it. Yeah, defense is phenomenal.
And what are the pop times? What are pop times? Because I got pop time. What was Jason Kendall's pop time?
Fastest of all time.
Like 198,
Fastest of all time.
like first ever below
There's-
2. Yeah.
They say my pop time.
Well, we
Faster
throw a
than
little bit quicker, but our bases are 30 feet shorter. So
I'm taking hits today.
you are. Are you ready for that?
No, I've been told that it's going to be very impossible.
Are you a golfer?
I mean, I'm a poor golfer, but I understand the concept.
Because we can lay something low and let you try to golf it, if that helps you.
Yeah, we do like that.
So we're going to front toss and get you confident, and then we're going to bring our pitcher on and see how you do.
Okay, so is she going to have some whoop-de-woos on this thing? I've heard these balls whoop-de-woo.
She's going to whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-de.
Oh, really?
For
Oh,
you,
boy.
yes.
Three?
Three whoop-dees.
More than Kenny would.
Holy shit.
Way more. 3 more than Kenny.
Could you imagine
Watch 'em out.
3
Easy.
whoop-de? That's not more than Kenny would.
That's
Listen,
way
I'm not
more
getting
than
into that.
Kenny would.
There is a goat with us right now. We do not need to be distracted
don't.
into the amusement park discussion, and I'll have you know.
Just bringing it up.
We saw what Cedar Point did. Kenny Wood's about to make a real run at the record breaker, but nonetheless, 3 whoop-de-woos are coming at me.
It's going to change a lot of your eyesight's going to be moving around a bit.
Well, I don't know if I'm a lefty or righty, Coach. We're gonna
Oh,
have to-
no. Okay. Uh-oh. You're going to go up right-handed or left-handed?
Coach,
You
I don't know, Coach. That's what I'm here for. I came to the greatest.
What foot do you kick with?
I kick with my right.
Let's stay with the right then.
All right.
That's your moneymaker?
That was, but when I'm taking snaps for field goals, which ball comes quick, have to find laces, that's this eye.
Oh, no.
Because righty kicker.
Yeah, which is your dominant eye? Okay, then you're going left.
Lefty
Maybe
for
right.
power,
Boom.
right for contact.
Yeah. Let's go right first. Let's make
I
contact.
agree with the right.
Sorry.
Coach, I've heard it's going to be a show out there. I've heard I'm going to get embarrassed. I cannot
You're
wait.
not going to. We're going to be cheer. Our team will be out on the field trying to make plays.
There's going to be national champions everywhere?
Yes, they will. And they'll try to rob your home runs. We're going to try to
rob home runs.
We got to do what we got to
Nope.
do.
That'd be
We got to. It's us against you.
If I hit a ball that is anywhere near getting robbed of a home run, what a moment in my life. I'll be
In a front toss, you can do that.
front toss.
We're just going to toss it behind a
Little
screen.
soft toss.
It's easy.
Yeah, soft toss. You got
It's like
that.
hitting a ball off a tee.
So we use the metal bats?
Yeah. Yeah.
They got to go boing on them? Boing?
They crack a little. Yeah.
Oh, crack.
Yeah.
I want a little boing.
No. No.
I need a little.
I don't know where you're taking me, but
What
I'm
does that
not
mean?
going there.
Whoa, Coach. Jeez
Whoa.
Louise. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest college softball coach of all time, Coach Patty Gass. Thank you.
Good to meet you all.
You too. We need to have you on the show more, to be honest. Where's the World Series for softball?
Oklahoma City, 20 minutes.
Hey, it's
down the road.
hosting the Olympics too here, right?
Yes.
Did you know that? The LA Olympics, Oklahoma City is hosting the softball portion of the Olympics.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
I like that.
I didn't know that. All right,
awesome.
Coach.
Thank you.
Are we going to get back? Is that hand going to be okay? Or
I broke my wrist, so we'll get there.
is
Yeah.
that going to happen immediately whenever
It could.
Probably.
That's why you better figure out which hand you're going to swing.
All right, Coach. All right. We got to figure out a lot. All right. I appreciate you. You're the best.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen.
Thank you,
Coach
guys.
Patty.
Good luck, Coach.
Good luck, Coach. Good luck.
guys.
Thank you, Coach. Man, Coach Patty Gasso, guys. Hey, not only has she won over 1,500 softball games, she knows ball.
She
knows
does
football.
know ball.
Four straight national championships is nuts.
Yeah,
To be able to do that.
Could have been 5, but the COVID season they didn't have a national.
They didn't have a.
championship.
Oh, is that the only reason? That's
And
the only thing.
they were 20-0 at the time, so who says they wouldn't have?
So probably would have been 5.
Yeah, probably. So this year will be 5.
This year will be 5, yeah. Which, I mean, if,
How do you continue to do that? That is sustained success at that level is crazy.
Well, and before the 4 in a row, I think they won like 3 in a row, in like 15, 16, 17.
They're good, yeah.
How many teams have tried to poach her away and hire them? There's
so many.
I was just telling her on her way out here, nobody can win 5 in a row. No,
Nope.
you guys could never do it. You know, go ahead and put it on the bulletin board. I don't. Your guys' conversation. Could you imagine staying focused that long?
No.
4 straight years to be the best. And
even as the coach.
We've watched those softball World Series games. They're electric. I mean, that's a lot of drama, like high tension, high energy, high drama, and then just being able to continually show up. That was awesome to talk with her. Once again, softball SID, we appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. What do you?
It's very nice.
Pat, you want to get to our favorite segment that we do every week?
Does a boomer sooner in the woods? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I certainly do. I would like to reiterate the fact that the first true Oklahoma Boomer Sooner story that I heard was from former tight end of Oklahoma that came and played for the Indianapolis Colts, Brody. Jeez, what was his name? Anyways, he told me Boomer Sooner is the most passionate cry in all of college sports, so much so that damn near every other Oklahoman that is given the death sentence is asked if they have their final words, and it is always Boomer. Every single time. But nobody ever says Sooner, which I think is kind of a heartbreaker for them, but they're going to be dead anyways.
Sure.
So that is how they feel out here about the Boomer Sooner situation.
Brody Eldridge, your old teammate that told you that.
Brody was a dog, dude. He was this
Looks
Wait,
like
hold
a
on,
dog.
hold on. I got. So I'm getting strapped into the electric chair or wherever, and they're about to put me out, and I say Boomer, and old buddy doesn't even say Sooner as I'm passing away.
Yeah, I don't think the person that's doing this for the poisoning or the hey, I don't think they answer anytime because criminal, obviously.
But some states still have firing squads, so maybe they all say Sooner and then light them up.
That'd be sweet.
We'll check in.
You're right. Maybe that's what happens. I guess we should check the stats a little bit more. But
We should go,
I've been told
we should go watch one.
on good. No shit. What?
Well, death row, they might not think that they deserve the Sooner
think
in
they sell
return.
tickets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's that, but
I got you.
People are committed out here till death.
We get it. We understand. That's college
There's
football.
only 2 of these in existence. Only 2 of these. Lee Corso
really?
signed it.
Really?
Lee Corso signed
man.
it.
Only 2.
That's Lee Corso's
Only
signature.
2? God.
Only 2 with Lee Corso's signature on it.
Oh.
Had the Oklahoma helmet up here earlier, but then had to say, there's only 2 of these bad boys. How many helmets are there? At least 100 out here.
Yeah.
So I got this thing up here, but it should be a great weekend here. Only 2 of these.
Only two.
You know, if you break that one, the other one's going to be worth a lot of money.
They're both worth a lot of money. Okay.
That's true.
So
The other one might double.
I think math. What about inflation? Is that, I don't know the.
Yeah.
I
Would
don't
that
know.
double?
I don't know.
Triple maybe.
Triple.
Might triple.
Really?
Good.
All right. I guess. I'm joking.
Oh, man. I want you to so bad. Just push that thing off the
I'm not
desk.
gonna do that. No way. Too much respect. Let's do our picks though, AJ.
Let's do it. Honestly, you're sitting out there in the heat. You gotta go hit some home runs. I can't believe you're trying to hit balls from those girls. Like even a high school pitcher would be very difficult to get a hit off of, I believe.
Yes, and honestly, I would like the world to know that this wasn't me going, yeah, I would like to go hit home runs against the national champions 4 times. That was not the case at all. It was a, hey, would you like to come try to hit some balls invite from Coach Patty Gasso and crew? And I'm like, what an honor that would be. Then I look into it a little bit, and I start asking some questions. I guess it's like one of the hardest things to do in all sports.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't wait to go out there and really see where I'm at. But I feel like if I hit 3 whoop-de-woos, what does that mean? That means the ball's going lower or higher, Ty?
The riser.
Yeah.
Saban said they throw that riser.
The rise ball. So, it depends. Like, you might get a pretty nasty curve ball or drop pitch, I think.
She's got they have changes, too. She'll pull the string on you. But for the soft toss, I think you'll put a few out. So that'll be nice.
The fence is not super far. So you play soft toss, you're going to hit some dongers, bro.
But she was saying low. I've seen all the high slappers on softball, right? Isn't that like the don't you kind of want the high slapper on that thing?
I think when they're doing their little soft tossing it for you, you want that about belt high, gut high. You don't want that thing in the dirt. You want that, right up near the numbers.
You want to hit up through that sucker.
Exactly.
Pot that thing.
Well, I just want the world to know that I do not think this is going to go well. But boy, if I take one out with a couple whoop-de-woos in it,
you'll take multiple.
I'm going to tell a story I'm going to say, team. fucking team. I do like. I do like that. All right, let's get to
Nice. Let's see these picks. So you picked last night. You picked the Patriots at -6, right? Or plus six.
Plus 6, yeah. I'm 0 for 1, but that's good news because Aaron and the boys want bananas, and now realistic expectations are back where they should be for the New England Patriots on what this season will be, the Drake May transition era, and they're playing, for next year. The Eagles and Saints. Now, here we go. Will the Saints continue to be the wagon that we have seen them be? Derek Carr's getting fined $14,000 for dancing in the Dallas Cowboys' face a week ago. This is a new Derek Carr. This is a new Saints team. Give me them -2.5 at home in a buzzsaw of an environment, AJ Hall.
Man, you are not lying there. An absolute buzzsaw of an environment, especially with all the juice and how pumped the Saints fans are right now. I'm taking the Saints too. Give me the Saints -2.5. Who would have thought before this season what this line would have been, Tone? Before the season started, before these first couple
Eagles
games,
would have been favorites.
Eagles
probably,
definitely
for
be
sure.
favorites.
Yeah.
All right, flip it.
What?
Probably 2.5 the other way.
Yeah.
What is it? So 18 days, no murders, Donner?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
That continues.
Must
New York
continue.
Giants, Cleveland Browns. Browns favored by 6.5 at home. Obviously, this team is in a fascinating position with the quarterback position and everything else. Last year, very dominant at home. This year, are they the same team as we potentially saw with Joey Flack running it back? Let's go to Bruce Brown in the back to see his confidence level of the New York Football Giants.
We will have a kicker, either Jude McAtemi of Derry, County Derry, Ireland, or Greg Joseph. So that is nice. But vibes are back to week one. I think we're probably fixing to get our ass kicked here. Our secondary is just not very good, so I do think Deshaun gets it going. The whole matchup will be if Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau can get to Deshaun. But I don't think our offense is going to do very well. They got Denzel Ward to take away Malik. I think that the Browns win going away.
Okay, AJ, who do you like?
Man, after Bruce's ringing endorsement of the Giants, I'm going to take the Browns here on this one, Pat.
Me as well. Packers, Titans. Titans favored by 3 at home. I will take the Packers on the road. I believe in this LaFleur-led team. I think the Titans are in a newer stage of the Tennessee Titans. They're still figuring it out. I think they're going to be good. I like the way Callahan operates. I like what they're thinking about for the future. I think they're investing in the stadium. Nashville is a beautiful place. But if it's Malik, if it's Jordan, I don't care. I like the Packers getting points in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I think even if most likely it's going to be Malik Willis in there at quarterback. So
Revenge game.
Give me the Packers in the revenge game.
Oh, my God.
Packers +3 on the road.
Remember
right?
earlier in the week, I was worried he was going to be a little bit too
emotional,
too zeked up.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He said they paid me every week.
Yeah.
He said, I was very fortunate for the position they put me in. They paid me every single week, right? That was his kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so he's just running the offense, thankful to be a part of the Packers. There's no way they put Love out there, and if they do, massive respect to Jordan Love and everything they got going on. Malik +3 back in Tennessee. I like it, especially after what they did to the Indianapolis Colts. Bears, Colts, speaking of, favored by 1.5 in the Loud House. AJ, that makes sense, does it not?
Yeah, it does. I would say if there's ever been a must-win for the Colts, it might be this one.
Good news, AJ. We're going to be doing just that. Okay.
Right.
The Loud House is going to deliver. Caleb has no idea what he's in for. Okay. When that little rodent gopher goes up and goes, "Hey!" and the whole place echoes the sentiment right back to the gopher. And the Loud House's roof, whether it's open or closed, is blown off because of the noise, is at a different level. It's at a fever pitch because the Indiana Fever are in town as well. It's a good time to be an Indianapolis sports fans. And the Colts are going to catch up to everybody else in town. Okay? Pacers making a run to the Eastern Conference Final. Fever doing things that the Fever haven't done. Caitlin Clark as a rookie is leading the entire league in everything. Does she deserve the Rookie of the Year? Okay. Might be the fucking MVP of the entire league. Okay? Let's not even talk about that. But the Colts are going to catch up to the rest of the town that is booming and blossoming and doing very well, taking taxpayer dollars from Connor and Gumpy downtown Indianapolis. Loud House is going to be rocking. Caleb ain't going to be able to handle it. Give me the Indianapolis Colts, favored by 1.5 at home.
Yeah, Colts favored here. I don't know. I heard on the internet a few rumors that some people were surprised that they were favorites at home, but I'm going to take the Bears here with the points, +1.5.
Okay, AJ. Okay, Connor.
It's going to be loud. Yeah. It is going to be loud. I will give you that.
Loud with Bears
Tell
fans.
him. Whoa. Well, Chicago is a close. And we would also like to say we're doing a ticket giveaway, aren't we, Conrad?
Yes, we are. If you use the hashtag SeatGeek for the shoe and say something nice to somebody, you can win 4 tickets in section 128 with using the hashtag SeatGeek for the shoe.
And we will say, if you are able to get to the game, please be the only ones that participate. Don't be participating from Maine.
Sure.
You know, I don't know if you're going to be able to get to the game on Sunday, but maybe you are. Maybe you are. Indianapolis, very accessible. Hashtag SeatGeek for the shoe. Obviously, for the shoe is the Indianapolis Colts mantra because everything they're doing is for the shoe. You know, DeFlo has his newest song.
Yeah, Seth.
Cheerleaders are there.
Uh-huh.
Vibes are high.
Wow.
It was bad.
I was
It
just going to
bad.
say, I hate to say it, I think the flow may have jumped the shark.
No.
No, what?
No. Don't say that.
That's all I'm
Don't
saying.
say that.
His bars today, I was expecting a lot more.
Shut up, man.
I hate to say it, but I'm with Ty on
I
this
got
as well.
What?
Thank you. Thank you.
You fucking
Yeah,
assholes.
Gumpy's a hating ass hoe, though.
Yeah.
We know that.
I was early on DeFlo. I've been one of his backers from day one.
You turned pretty early, too.
We will say the bear trap was sitting right there. Yeah. You know, trap.
Where was
Hey,
something
used
about
it?
the
He used
Bears?
it?
No, he didn't.
Nothing about the Bears.
Bear down.
What do you
with
mean,
Josh.
nothing about the Bears?
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue.
No, he said bear down
Yeah.
with Josh down.
Yeah,
or bear him down with.
bear him
I
down.
don't know.
Yeah,
Bear
that
him
was
down
not a
with
problem.
Josh Dahn.
Josh Dahns.
But
That's
the-
a good bar.
No.
That's a
Bear
good bar.
trap was right there.
Ty, we don't need. Hey, DeFlo, keep doing your
Love
thing.
you, DeFlo.
The vibes are obviously immaculate. I don't like the way you guys tried to kind of ruin DeFlo's flow, if you will.
Have you guys played his stuff on the show?
Yeah.
Have you?
One time. We've known him for a while now. I will say.
Years.
Obviously, DeFlo has cracked our algorithm more than a few times. This is not his first year doing things, but I'm happy the world's starting to see his talent, even though Ty and Gumpy, once again, are being haters.
Well,
to the
Ty's
Texans.
one to talk.
Come
I mean,
on, guys.
Packers superfans stole Seth DeFlo. So
That's what
I don't know.
happens when
yeah.
you. That's what happens when you win. You take his soul, and you take his flow.
This is our pack. This is our team. I didn't like that.
Bullshit song.
I heard that song is potentially. We were talking about Passion of the Christ 2 coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Shout out, man.
I'm back version. Moves the rock.
Yep.
How we doing? Keep it moving. But like, I've heard that song is potentially a like youth pastor song. The
Ridge.
the thing.
Yeah, the Ridge. I
Allegedly,
believe.
the Ridge, and that is a cover.
Yeah.
But
That's why it has such good vibes every time. That's
Yeah.
why the Colts are getting it back on track this weekend, favored by 1.5 in the Lighthouse.
Good luck.
Maybe he's hitting the anvil.
Love that.
Oh, yeah.
Texans, Vikings home dogs getting 2 as C.J. Stroud and team travel up to a beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium up there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I would take the Houston Texans favored by 2 on the road, even though I'm a massive Minnesota Vikings fan.
Man, this one's a tough one for me, but I'm taking the Vikings here at +2 at home. I love the Texans, everything they do, but I don't know. I think they still that B-flow defense and Sam Darnold. I think they still have some magic in them.
Stephon Diggs' first game back in Minnesota
Yeah.
since he left.
Really?
They're going to want to get him going early.
Yeah, how's that go? Do they do that in his face
Skull.
the whole time?
So they give him a video tribute, you wonder.
Yeah, how's that work in
Definitely,
football?
right?
Does that happen
Definitely.
in
Minneapolis
football?
Miracle has to happen.
It should, but
First commercial break.
have you seen that happen in football much?
Edgerrin James got one, obviously, for everything he did for the Indianapolis Colts whenever he was playing for the Arizona Cardinals. They ran one. I think Jeff Saturday got one in Indianapolis whenever he left and went somewhere else.
I don't know if I've
I think
ever
I saw-
seen one. I don't
After the
think I have.
coaching job, when he just came to the games.
This is back whenever I think he was with the Packers, I think.
Colts are a nice organization, AJ. They do stuff like that.
Thumbs up, baby.
We are very friendly
They are very
organization,
nice.
which is once again why the Colts -1.5 at home in the friendly place will be good. The B-flow defense, I completely forgot about that, but C.J. Stroud seemingly has it figured out. I'll take the Houston Texans. Now Denver Broncos taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Red hot Tom Moore in Baker Mayfield, favored by 6.5. Bo Nix, Denver Broncos. How's that going to go? We shall see. Give me Tampa Bay Buccaneers favored by almost a touchdown and an extra point, AJ.
Yeah, I think Denver, I think they're going to get the ship going in the right direction soon enough, but I don't know if this is the week for that to happen. So give me Tampa Bay -6.5.
Justin Herbert is literally looking like a Jim Harbaugh dream of a quarterback. He's got his right ankle taped. He's got his middle finger on his left hand broken. We are 3 weeks into the season, and they're already staying away from their home in a hotel on the East Coast. They've taken a bowl trip now. The quarterback is showcasing to the team that he's tough. This Chargers-Steelers game is about to be, you're talking two bulls running into each other in the middle of the field. Two bulls running into each other. Same exact style. Same exact style of offense. Same exact style of culture that Harbaugh's trying to put in and instill with the Chargers. Tomlin has with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tone, are you excited for this matchup to kind of see where you are? Or do you think this is a little bit early for a 15-round heavyweight fight that's coming your way?
No, I think this is a great measuring stick, especially because the Chargers fans are asking for TJ Watt. So, I mean, that's smart. They're putting up memes of Joe Alt as the Undertaker,
Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper.
Joe Alt doesn't want that.
Grim Reaper
Joe
going
Alt
from
doesn't
door
want
to
the
door,
fans doing that for him.
holding defensive ends heads, and TJ Watt's the next one on the door. Careful what you ask for, okay? Okay, yeah.
Hey, good for Joe Alt though. Joe Alt had a great first couple games. Now he's getting a chance to literally take on the guy. You know?
Yeah, baptized
This is
by
the
fire.
guy.
He got Crosby. Crosby week 1.
Okay.
Well,
that's.
What you welling? What are we?
Yeah,
what are
let's
we
not
welling?
act like they're not.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying when it comes to whether somebody locks somebody down or not. I mean, I think that's almost subjective.
Max Crosby affected that game. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like we could say you can check the stat sheet, but it doesn't mean you won every rep.
No doubt.
But Joe Alt is awesome. With that being said, Pat, I'm taking the Chargers here on the road.
All right, and I'll take.
Steelers are favorites by 1.5.
That is correct. And they got.
It's disrespectful.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear of my life.
Harbaugh's going to be so juiced when that comes on.
Herbert Tank is banged up.
Alone, man, and put in through my running and alone from my home. All right, I'll take the Steelers.
Okay, here we go.
Dam's going to break. They said we shall see. Even though I like this Chargers, this feels like a game Harbaugh wins. You know, team just stayed in a hotel away from everybody, no distractions, a second training camp almost. Like, hey, we're out here together. J.K. Dobbins has been immaculate for them and obviously closing things out. Herbert's absolute dog, so he's going to play through whatever he is going through with his ankle and his foot. But, all right, Steelers might. Oh, man, I really like the.
You're
Go
on
ahead.
You're on the right side. This ain't college. He doesn't have Connor Stallions.
Yeah, just
so.
go. Just go with it.
He didn't need him the first couple. All right, give me
One
Steelers.
Alaska day in Pittsburgh.
Mark Caboli, obviously, keeping our coverage up to date. His X articles have been phenomenal. Miami Dolphins, Seattle Seahawks. Dolphins getting 4.5 with Skylar Thompson as the QB. Gumps, is that who?
Oh, yeah. I've been watching his K-State highlights. He's about to run wild on Sunday, brother.
All right, give me the Seahawks favored by 4.5.
No Kenneth Walker.
Okay, AJ.
Jalen Ramsey, full week of practice, first time this year.
Hey.
Armstead's playing, Campbell's playing. I'd be worried if I was the Seahawks.
What about the soccer games? Hopefully there's some good ones going on this weekend in a tournament. But first thing
wait.
I did, Pat, I walked
can't
in.
wait,
I walked
AJ.
in and Goom said, who are you picking in the Seahawks-Dolphins game? And I was like, Seahawks, no question here, Gump, just because of you. So I'm taking Seahawks minus 4.5 at home because I think they're a good squad. And unfortunately, the Dolphins quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And if he returns to football, it's certainly going to be one of the stories of the year and maybe of football as a whole. I hope he makes whatever decision he is comfortable with. And if he's back in there, I think we got a lot of hope. But in Seattle, too, like that's
Tua's flying to Seattle, though.
barn.
Might be win one for Tua, you
With
know?
the 12s.
Who's going
Geno.
up top? Who's at the very top, like waving the flag? Who's the 12th? Remember they're
Will
always
Ferrell.
Okay, that's cool.
No, that's Pete Carroll, actually. They're bringing Panthers, Raiders. David Tepper, actually the one lighting the fire for the Las Vegas Raiders over there in Allegiant Stadium. Gardner Minshew, favored by 5 against Andy Dalton here in 2024. AJ, how do you see it going?
I'm going to be completely biased here. I played with the Red Rocket for 1 year in Cincinnati. Give me the Carolina Panthers plus 5. And it's that whole new quarterback bump. But don't we have that for a game or two?
At least a game or two.
Especially when it's the Rocket.
Is it true? Is that real?
Yeah,
Especially with that Panthers roster.
When the Rocket comes out, it is.
Yeah.
Well, what about with Max Crosby on the other side?
That makes it a little tougher, I think. It really does. I didn't think about that much until just now.
Andy doesn't care.
Okay. I'll take Max Crosby and the Raiders favored by 5 at home, and I think they're trying to build something special over there. Now, Gardner Minshew, Pro Bowl quarterback, nobody is talking about that. Everybody's talking about Max Crosby motivating him, yada, yada, yada. Gardner Minshew makes the right decision most of the times. That's why he was great for the Colts. There's going to come a game where he's going to airmail a few. Okay, there's going to be a game or two where he's going to airmail a few, and they're going to be easy picks for the other team. But what Gardner Minshew did with the Colts last year, and seemingly what he's going to be able to do with the Raiders this year, is like a perfect fit, a perfect marriage. I like Gardner Minshew to continue to do his thing. And they just get a massive win over the Ravens on the road, come back home. Let's go ahead and win that. Is there going to be a Vegas flu for the Panthers, you think, with where their team is and slipping away already? No, right?
No. Not this early. No, can't.
No, Ravens, Cowboys. Ravens favored by 1 in Jerry World. Wait a second. Hold them.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. Connor, how would you lean in this one?
I mean, after the transition from week 1 to week 2, all the teams that played shitty in week 1 played great in week 2, and I feel like it's going to bounce back to the other side again, where it's, the Cowboys looked so bad last week, they can't look worse this week. So I'm leaning to the home dog just because it's in Jerry World, and we've been talking about this Ravens, O-line being so bad. The Cowboys D-line is very, very good. We saw it week 1 against the Browns, and it was just kind of that last week going up against the number 1 line per AQ Shipley's in the trenches, the OG one. So it feels like big bounce back for the Cowboys. That's me personally.
Okay, I'll take Cowboys at home, getting a point against the Baltimore Ravens. AJ, your pick?
Yeah, I am with you. I'm taking Cowboys at home, getting a point, which, I guess, the Ravens are 0-2, right?
Yeah. And we saw the stat this morning. 129 teams have started 0-3 in the last 25 years, and only one of them has made the playoffs.
Should be an interesting game. I'll stay with the Cowboys here.
Niners, Rams fresh off the ass beating.
Man.
The ash.
Got their ash beat.
And they got their ash ate out.
No, not that.
What?
They beat that ash. They didn't eat that ash. They beat that ash. Connor.
Okay, I'm just figured that McVay might have did some ash eating after getting killed like that.
Why'd Chuck do what he did yesterday? He did that on purpose?
I watched that 100 times after the show.
Sam.
He finished it too, like eating. Wasn't like a lot of times, he jumped their ass or whatever.
Stop halfway
he
through.
did the full. He went all in.
How about the end of the clip where he gets back to Aaron Rodgers, 59,000 yards? They're not going to show him anything, and then he literally goes on and does exactly what Pagano was saying. It was like actual football analysis in the middle of the, the mud situation. It's fascinating. It is certainly fascinating. I will take the 49ers favored by 6.5 on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. I feel like Brock Purdy last week. Okay, this week he bounced back. I think Niners get a little wake up. Here we go. Give me the Niners favored on the road in LA, and that's going to be a Niners stadium.
Yeah, no doubt. So wait, Puka obviously hurt. What about Cooper Kupp?
He's out.
He's out too.
Yeah. Jonah Jackson, starting tackle, I believe. He's out. Guard.
Basically the whole line.
Yeah, they're
John
real
Johnson
banged up.
third. He's out, starting corner.
Give me the Niners. Yeah, Aaron Donald's retired. I'll take the Niners. Here we go.
Aaron Donald did retire. I don't know. We got to remind people of that. Detroit Lions, Arizona Cardinals. I mean, what are the Detroit Lions?
Good question.
Good question.
Foxy?
I got a stat for you guys.
Do they have an identity?
Since November 2022, after a loss, the Lions are 8-0 straight up and 8-0 against the spread. And against the spread, they have won those games by more than 13 points.
And Dane Campbell, after the way he treated the loss last week, it was my fault, man.
Yep.
I ruined it. I think he's probably more locked in than ever. But this Cardinals team's different. Home dogs like this.
Frisky.
Kyler Murray.
NCDC had to move in the middle of the week as well.
Right. And historically,
Detroit.
These Lions defenses have been terrible against running quarterbacks.
Hey, Detroit, what's going on, Foxy? The guys brought more energy, attention, and success to the Lions quicker than anybody, seemingly in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And you guys are hunting them down. You guys are hunting this guy down. You're stalking this guy.
Yeah, we need to knock it off.
Move?
Everyone in Detroit needs to relax, all right? MCDC is good forever. He's actually the only person I would say to leave alone, let him do his thing. He's brought more happiness to that city than they ever have in the history of the city. So, yeah, I don't like what's going on in Detroit.
You heard it here first. Throw rocks through Jared Goff's window instead.
Jeez, Todd, that's not what Foxy said.
That's basically what he said.
I mean, the disrespect to Kid Rock, too. The amount of happiness he's brought to the city
Yeah,
of Detroit. For you just to say that.
And also, everyone, 313, put your hands in the air and follow me. Boom, 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 boom. Big Sean, too. Never forget.
Yeah, Seager.
Posner,
yeah.
I'm taking the Lions here, Pat. Foxy convinced me. I'm taking the Lions.
I will take the Detroit Lions as well, even though I love the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. Excited to watch them continue to grow, but this feels like a revenge game for Motor City Dan Campbell. You see him losing 2 in a row? I don't see Dan Campbell losing 2 in a row. No way. You know? That's, Kansas City, Atlanta Falcons, Sunday Night Football. The reigning, defending, undisputed. Shout out to Paul Heyman. Back-to-back Super Bowl champions, favored by 3 in Atlanta. Patrick Mahomes versus a revamped, rebooted Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons team that isn't trying to have a transition here. No, we paid $180 million to a quarterback. We got a defensive guru as the head coach. We're trying to win now. We bring in Judon. We bring in other vets. We're trying to go. We're trying to win. You see that 2-minute drill? That's going to be the entire game coming up on Sunday Night Football. A lot of Atlanta Falcons football in prime time. They delivered on Monday night. Will they deliver again on Sunday night against the leader of the home of the Chiefs? Fresh off a National Cheeseburger Day, give me the Kansas City Chiefs, favored by 3 on the road. I think they get another big-time win.
Yeah, I will. I'm with you here. Give me the Chiefs on the road, 3-point favorites. I know Chris Jones had half a sack taken from him last week. He's going to be hungry. He might get 2 or 3.
Did we watch the film? Did you watch the film?
Of him getting that sack taken away?
Him talking about it, but did you see the film of the play?
I did, yes.
I don't know how they normally score those. You know, I don't know. There's always
it's usually whoever gets there first. Whoever gets there first usually definitely gets the credit. But this seems like a classic half and half.
Yeah, I don't. You know, because he's touching them. Who's touching? And are they saying that without Chris Jones, George gets it? I don't know what they score on.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know how
it's
it
always
works.
yeah. It's not really ever clear how that is. I don't know who makes these decisions. They're the big decisions. It does kind of like suck when players send them in to try to steal half a sack away, or which that players don't even have to send them in now. I think the league just does it.
Yeah, I think they're eyeballing everything because the amount of money and legacy that is on everything. So Chris Jones, obviously losing half a sack, he'll get it back. He will certainly get it back. But I think it opened up a conversation about how do these get scored? How do they get judged, you know, in the entirety? We shall see. Hey, it's about to be a great day here in Norman, Oklahoma. Sun is shining, a little bit too much. I'm going to be hitting some softballs. Then I think I'm eating at one of their meat joints here.
Oh,
nice.
Barbecue.
Good meat.
A good barbecue.
I think I'm eating some Oklahoma meat out here. Can't wait for that. And then college game day tomorrow morning is going to be bananas, I think. Hasn't been here for a while.
Yeah, Blake Shelton's pumped. He's going to be awesome on there.
This is God's country. Hell right. Hell right. I was listening to that on the plane ride in. 2 hours to get over here. It's left.
Oh, wow.
We are left.
That's far.
That's far in the morning. Just keep flying. You just keep flying.
Almost
you just keep flying.
Man, Middle Texas.
Yeah, and there was a lot of activity in the sky. A lot of activity in the sky.
What do you mean? Like aliens or
jumpy?
It's no aliens yet. We saw that portal at one time, and you guys told us, you guys see the moon. Okay, yeah, I'm an adult. I've seen the moon. And the moon, by the way, the last 3 nights.
Crazy.
Awesome. Great work.
Crazy.
Good moon.
Showing
Good
up
show.
right
Can we
now.
just have that every night now?
Good work, Moon.
This moon is Coach Patty Gasso. It's going for, a dynastic performance. 4 straight nights would be something we haven't seen in a long time. And then that second moon comes in when September 29th, they said?
Yeah, I'm sure that's a moon.
What do we have? We got 2 moons coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
A second moon, yeah.
Okay. I thought all of the things was planet Earth has 1 moon. This place got 14 moons. Well, how do we have 2 then for a couple of days?
September 29th, too, is the day after T. Swift and Kelsey break up.
True.
In the
They're not breaking up. We talked about that yesterday. Blake Shelton's a believer, and if he's a believer, I'm a believer.
Well said.
Blake's been in that a couple times now.
Yeah.
A couple different high-profile relationships. And he's like, it feels like they're both very public about it, so that means they don't want to, he said if they're being kind of coy and not talking about it, but there's pictures. Maybe that is the business operating. But they've been very open. A lot of hand holding. A lot of walking in, walking out of stadiums. A lot of support of each other. It's a beautiful thing. I love love. I love love.
Who doesn't?
I think they love each other. And I think his place loves them some football. So should be a great weekend. AJ, thank you for driving out there, brother. You did a great job.
Appreciate it. Hopefully tomorrow you have those air conditioners trained directly on you.
I got good fit tomorrow. I feel pretty good about it.
Nice.
I feel pretty good. David Allen sent me some magic. And then accessorizing alongside the magic that was sent is really the fun of it all. But out here in Oklahoma, I think you're going to have to potentially, wait till you see the top half tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hashtag SeatGeek
for the shoe.
Say something nice to somebody. Take a picture of a screenshot right now, actually. Screenshot right now. Okay. Say something nice to somebody. You can use the hashtag SeatGeek for the shoe, and you could be one of the winners of 4. It'll probably be what? One person wins 4?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's a lot easier and a much easier way to go about doing things. So that's what we're going to do.
Could do it two.
Could do 2 and 2.
Okay, Bruce.
We'll do it 2 and 2. I think 2 and 2 is much better. 2 winners, 2 tickets each, and a great location in the stadium.
Fantastic.
Chicago, obviously, very close. A lot of Colts fans watching, a lot of Bears fans watching from wherever you're at. Hashtag SeatGeek for the shoe. You'll be automatically entered. Random winners, 2 tickets. Shout out to SeatGeek. Shout out to you, AJ. Boys, great work this week, boys.
Back at you,
brother. Good work, Pat.
Hey, good luck. Good luck, Pat, with your home run derby.
I'm fucking...
Hey,
right there.
Hey, honestly, if you feel more comfortable lefty, hit lefty.
I'm going to do both.
Yeah, you got
I'm
it.
going to do both. I'm going to do. The thing is, I think my eyes... Now, granted, that Brewers pitcher, 93 miles an hour.
Yep.
First pitch.
Hit it.
I saw that thing pretty good with this left eye here, That's a long time ago. That's like 4 or 5 years ago, right? That's long. I haven't seen something fast moving at me in a long time. So I think my natural instinct is because of all the reps holding, I think this eye will be able to find laces faster. Like, I think that helped me in the baseball thing.
Yeah.
I think that did. But am I too far removed from all that for the national championship pitching? I think there's a chance. But we're going to try to make some solid contact, hit some dingers, and really, walk out of here feeling like I deserve a spot on a Sooner softball team. That's what we're trying to do.
That's what it's all about.
Hell yeah.
She's gonna. Coach Patty might sign. He might try to sign you. If you probably have some eligibility.
Sure.
Team. Speaking of team,
Let's do it. Come on.
be a friend, tell a friend. Something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Have an incredible weekend. We'll see you on Overreaction Monday. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.